Greetings from Rangers Stadium for what was for so many years a district matchup. Old foes get together in the third week of the 2025 high school football season, and we've got it for you right here on the Rangers Network. Hector Ledesma alongside the man, Brian Hill. And Brian, I know you took part in a couple of matchups that featured the Madison Mavericks. This a Mavericks team that comes in at 0-2, but it's a deceptive 0-2. Two very good opponents, now two losses, but still two early tests for the Mavericks to start 2025.
Yeah, for sure. Both games that they've lost has been by a combined 8 points, 4 points apiece against two very good opponents. First game versus New Braunfels, who the Rangers know well. In district, played them twice last year, lost 35-31, and then they lost another 4-point ball game to Harlan, another top-ranked 6A team in the area. And so no time to hang your hat after last week and kind of feel sorry for yourself because you got another tough 6A opponent here at home. Going to have to bounce back.
Yeah, speaking of, Rangers coming up just short, a loss to Brennan last week over at Gustafson Stadium. Hard-fought game against the Bears team that, like the Harlan Hawks, many expect will be very, very good in Greater San Antonio. Kickoff, we're underway back at the end zone, and the Rangers will have the ball first, starting 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Yeah, much to the delight of Ranger fans. If you were tuning in last week, late in the game, there was Quentin, both Quentin and Caleb weren't on the field, and now both of them are jogging out in the huddle, so that's good to see. Obviously, they got banged up towards the end, but had a week to recover, so both of them out there. So a good sign for the Ranger offense to have both of those explosive players on the field.
Caleb Piegler on 31 rushes in 2025, nearly 200 yards, 196, 6 touchdowns, but those 6 scores have come really in about 4 quarters of play when you combine the two games. On the first play of the game, it's Hunter Haug on the screen, good yardage, first down for the Rangers on 1st and 10.
Yeah, it's such a blessing to be able to just throw it out there early in the game to get an easy completion. A guy like Haug, really, Madison kind of had numbers out there, but Haug does a great job coming back to the football and cutting to the outside, making the first guy miss. And anytime you can throw about a 10-yard pass and pick up 12 yards, it gets everybody into a rhythm.
It's a gain of 12. Ty Knutson coming in, 15 of 28 on the year, 291 yards, a couple of touchdowns on the season with no interception. Second pass rolling to his right. He's got Peace out here to the 40, the 45, and Luke with his third catch of the young season.
Yeah, and the corner there was kind of trying to play both of them, but you saw Quentin in the slot ran kind of a corner route there, and then the cornerback for Madison was trying to play both of them. Look for the Rangers to come back there, come back to that play because nobody was on Quentin on the corner route. But good job by Ty. His first read was open, gave it to him, and another good pickup on first down.
Credit Ivan Salinas of the Mavericks with the tackle. He wears number 42. 2nd and 2 following the gain of 8. Here's Caleb Piegler's first carry of the night. Good Maverick pursuits. On the tackle, Liberty Boss, and a loss, I believe, of 1.
Yeah, we blocked it well on the front side, but Boss was the backside linebacker and kind of backfitted it and ran it down. And right when Caleb was about to stick his foot and kind of make a cutback, try to get north, Boss does a good job of backfitting. So a gain of nothing. So a big early 3rd and short here for the Ranger offense.
Piegler getting back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 2, their own 45. Braxton Sawyer in motion to give to Piegler up the middle. Now Madison's going to argue he didn't quite get there. Of course, they'll say that. More importantly, what did the officials say?
Looks like he got just enough. It's a good job by Piegler understanding down and distance, 3rd and 2. There would look like there might be a little bit of crease outside to be able to jump cut and get out there, but understanding that, hey, we only need 2 yards, lowered his shoulder and took a body or two an extra yard and picked up a first down.
Needed 2. They got 2.5 at the 47. 1st and 10. Knutson shotgun, as he usually is. There's Quentin Sampson, his first reception. Quentin near first down yardage, maybe a couple yards short, but now into Madison territory.
Again, just another basically extension of the run game, right? Trying to get it in your athlete's hands. It's a little hitch route, getting some easy completions, but also getting the ball in your playmaker's hands. And, even though that didn't look like much, only 6 yards, it's a great play on first down. And if he makes one guy miss, which Quentin can do, that's a touchdown. So another good play on first down.
That's Sampson's 5th catch of the season. 84 yards receiving, including that one. The give, or actually Knutson keeping, first down for Ty on his first carry of the night.
And I think this is an important aspect of the Ranger offense. Obviously last year with Cade was more of a running, focused type quarterback. Doesn't mean he couldn't throw the ball, but he was definitely a threat in the backfield. This year with Ty, kind of a prolific passer with that big arm. If you can spread people out and get guys out of the box and still be able to run the ball with the 6-man run formation, it's going to be deadly.
At the 41, Knutson, the fake. Over the middle, busy early for Luke Peace near the 20. And Luke, who came into this ballgame with 2 catches, equaling that on this first drive.
Yeah, and it was a great job by Ty. There was a little drag route in the corner. Number 1, Josiah Thomas let his receiver go and was kind of sitting there waiting for it. If Ty would have led Peace there, it would have been a big collision, but he saw that the corner fell off of it and kind of stuck it right on him and made him slow down and catch it in the hole to avoid the big collision. So another great pass and a big first down.
Split receivers. It's Haug to our side, Sampson on the far side. To Sampson is where Knutson goes, broken up.
Yeah, good coverage up there by Darius Bishop. Ran a deep out route, and he kind of just squatted right at the leverage. Again, when you're almost inside the red zone, those corners aren't necessarily pedaling, thinking they're going to get beat deep because you're kind of going to run out of field. And so he just kind of squatted at the top of the route and caught Quentin right at the top and did a good job of getting on his back. And so really good play by the corner there. 2nd
and 10. Piegler behind Ty. Both receivers, Sampson and Haug, on our side. The give to Piegler up the middle, bouncing it outside for a second, still in between the hash marks and toward the 15. They're going to mark him down at the 17.
Yeah, good blocking up front on the counter play. Got the kick out, and the fullback wrapped up in there and took the outside linebacker down to the safety. And again, anytime you throw the ball on first down and it's incomplete, your goal on second down is let's get half of it back so there could be a third manageable, and the Rangers did that, getting about 5 yards to make it 3rd and 5.
Smithson Valley converting on 3rd and 2 a couple minutes ago, 3rd and 5 from the 17 as they continue to take some time off the clock. 7:40 and counting here in this opening quarter. Piegler up the gut, first down yardage and more inside the 10.
And that's that puts the defense in a bind right there. Multiple times this year and even early in this game, we have 2 wide receivers out there with Quentin and Haug, both dangerous. We motion a fullback out of the backfield and throw it to one of those and add the fullback as another blocker. That time he runs out there and fakes like he's going to, and then he comes back into the backfield. He acts as a second puller, Sawyer does. And so really it's a light box in 3rd and 5. That's about as easy a 7-yard gain as you can get in a light box inside the red zone.
Piegler 6.3 yards every time he's touched it so far in 2025. 1st and goal from the 8. Piegler in motion. Knutson up the middle, tied toward the goal line. Tackled it right around the 2. They'll call it the 3.
And again, anytime Ty can run the ball, anytime a quarterback in general can run the ball, you have numbers because when you put wide receivers out, DBs have to go with them. But it's still your 6-man blocking scheme because when you usually hand off to a running back, the quarterback can't do anything. When the quarterback's running, you can send the running back out into the formation, and you still have a 6-man blocking surface with less guys in the box. And so the more that they can utilize the quarterback running game, the more it puts the defense in a bind.
2nd and goal at the 3. Haug on one side, Sampson on the other. Piegler behind Knutson gets the call. Piegler going left. Piegler's got a touchdown on Smithson Valley's first possession of the ball game for a 3rd straight week.
Yeah, and it's just a fantastic job by the left side of that offensive line and the tight end. It totally got the edge, collapsed the edge, and then it was just a foot race between Piegler and the safety, and he's going to win that most of the time. But again, just a great job up front by the offensive line and tight end, creating that edge, and pretty much a walk-in touchdown, just how you draw it up on the first drive for Smithson Valley.
Trent Amaya on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, and good. 6:16 remaining. The Rangers take the opening kickoff drive 75 yards and take a 7-0 lead. We're back with Madison's first touch right here on the Rangers Network.
I didn't put a filter on. Look at this. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, it's because Link's roofing is in the shop. Anything next to the toughest roofing you can get looks not so tough. Anything?
Link's Roof, the second toughest thing in the Smithson Valley area.
What do you get when you mix a banana, a firefighter, a tailgater, and baseball? You get Banana Ball on True TV.
That is beautiful banana ball.
This baseball game has taken the country by storm.
Over 65,000 fans on hand.
9 weeks of America's pastime with a twist.
Showtime.
We guarantee you've never seen anything.
Back here to Ranger Stadium, Amaya set to kick us off. Into the end zone and out of bounds, and Madison now, just like the Rangers did on their first possession, will start at their own 25.
Yeah, and Madison's offense, it all starts and stops with the wide receiver, number 11, Jordan Clay, Baylor commit, I think 3 or 4 year starter, just an absolutely explosive playmaker out there. Look for the Rangers to try to get into some cover two and maybe double him a little bit. But that doesn't mean you're going to shut him completely down. And then also, when you do that, you're opening up the door for DeCorion McMillan, who's an outstanding running back as well.
Clay wears number 11, 10 catches through the team's first 2 games, 250 yards, gotten into the end zone. He is among the trips. He's at the top of your screen. Quarterback is Caleb Allen, looking toward the middle, complete toward the 40, and a nice job of sitting there in the spot by Nathaniel Garcia, and a first down for the Mavericks on first down.
Yeah, good play by Madison. They true to what I was saying, Clay was the top wide receiver, so we had a corner and a safety over the top of him, which kind of opened up that interior zone. And so if they can continue to do that, while we have to keep an eye on Clay, they're going to be successful.
At the 41, Allen shotgun, twins to his left. Give up the middle. Young man who Brian mentioned just moments ago, DeCorion McMillan, stopped it right around the 44, so they're going to give him 3, which brings up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, pretty good blocking up front, got all the way to the linebacker, but then Hornsby, number 17, met him with bad intentions and drove him back, and so good pop there by the Mike linebacker, but got all the way there, and a pretty decent pickup on first down with 4 yards.
For Hornsby, his 20th tackle of 2025, leading the team. 2nd and 7 now, as mentioned, for the Mavericks. Near midfield, here's McMillan again, bouncing it outside, now cutting it up toward midfield, close to another Maverick first down.
And again, a great job. We talked about Jordan Clay, we talked about McMillan, but another guy to keep an eye on for the Madison Mavericks is number 0, Jameer Bailey. He plays on both sides of the ball. He is the definite guy you got to keep an eye on the interior defensive line, but also he comes over and he plays tight end, and that time he had a great seal block on the edge, allowing the running back to get outside. So another impact player for Madison, number 0, Jameer Bailey.
3rd and 1 at the 50. Allen, first year as a starting signal caller for these Mavericks. He's in shotgun. 3 receivers. Looks to his right. There's Clay. First catch gives the Mavs a first down.
Pretty simple pitch and catch there on 3rd and short. Corners playing soft. Howard's playing soft in quarters. Looks like they went on like a hard count there to either A, get a free first down, but also to see what Smithson Valley's defense was. Looked out there and saw soft coverage and threw a little quick out route and picked up a big first down for Madison.
Jordan Clay, a young man who was in the first year that what's been known for years as the Army All-American game, the Navy now kind of the big partner there, was allowed to play as a junior last year. Not often that happens. First year, and Clay, among the young men who was able to play in that, as McMillian gets stuffed behind that line by that Ranger defensive line.
Yeah, Justin Roberts came in there, beat the offensive guard, and honestly had the running back wrapped up like before he even got the ball. And so great play right there, getting inside. And anytime you can get a loss of yardage on first down, getting them behind the chains, it's a big deal. And now passing type situations is really where our defensive line really creates big plays.
Justin Roberts, 7th tackle thus far in 2025. 2nd and 13 is what he forces the Mavericks into. They're at the Ranger 46. Allen to his right. That one too tall for McMillian.
Speaking of Roberts, he's been playing, been playing for about 3 years now, and UTEP commit, and he's just been an outstanding force. The interior D-line doesn't get it as much notoriety because usually DNs, they get the more sacks because they're going one-on-one versus the tackles, whereas those interior D linemen, they're getting double-teamed a lot and stuff like that. So, but want to make sure that we call him out because he's been a force on the interior D line for a number of years for the Rangers.
3rd and 13, and a chance for the Smithson Valley defense to get off the field. Hornsby a little too early.
Yeah, I called a blitz, timed it up, and Madison did a great job. I don't know whether it was on purpose or not, but we'll give him the credit for it being on purpose. But went on a hard count, and because he was unabated to the quarterback, they went ahead and blew it dead. Otherwise, that would have been a free play, and it's never a bad choice on a free play to throw it up to Jordan Clay. But they blew it dead because he had a free shot to the quarterback. So a 3rd and 12 now turns into somewhat manageable, about a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8.
Officials making that move right now in terms of marking it before they get the new down and distance for the Mavs on this 3rd down.
I'm looking down the roster for Madison, and it's weird to not see a player on the Madison roster with the last name Green, not on there. For years we were in the district, and it seemed like there was another Green every year, much like we talked about with Brennan last week, a toll-free, and a Green was always really good. So no Green on the Madison Maverick roster this year bodes well for the Rangers.
3rd and 8 at the Ranger 41. Allen, that one batted at the line. Justin Roberts is kind of doing the celebrating. Makes you think that he got the hand on it.
Yeah, tipped at the line of scrimmage. And a little bit of a curious call there by Madison. They're past the 50-yard line, so they're kind of in that range. They're going to bring their punt team out right now, but kind of in that range where a little too close to punt, a little too far to kick a field goal. I thought they might go with something conservative there, a quick throw or maybe a draw or something to try to get some of it back to make it a 4th and manageable. But with that incompletion and making it 4th and 8, they're going to go ahead and punt. But I thought they might try to cut into that, cut in the chains a little bit to go for it.
Richard Manning, the punter for Madison, standing at his own 45. This one a short kick, appeared to have gone off the side of his foot, out of bounds by the time it reached the Smithson Valley 30. We'll see where exactly it went out of bounds. Officials initially looking like they're going to mark it at the 33.
Yeah, so line of scrimmage was the 41 out at the 33, so a net 8-yard punt. So Rangers will have good field position, even though Madison got a couple first downs and had a pretty decent first drive.
They initially got that. They got that punt to where the first down marker was.
Yeah, right at the first down marker there, which is again why I was a little bit surprised on 3rd down that they didn't try to get some of that back. Right in that no man's land territory where, especially down 7-0 on the road, non-district game. Let's try to get something going. I thought for sure they'd go for it on 4th down, but a little too far there because they had an incompletion on 3rd down.
Knutson, piece again, his 3rd catch of the game. Luke, big part of the game plan early. Near the 40, 2nd and let's call it 5.
And again, anytime that those don't look like much, on the stat sheet, it's a 5-yard completion. But anytime you can get ahead of the chains, 2nd and medium, now the whole playbook is wide open. You can take a shot, you can hand it off to Pegler, you can throw it short. So anytime that you can win first down is big, and if you can do it by just throwing it out there in extension of the run game, it makes it awfully easy for the Ranger offense.
Pegler, the get, comes right. Nice move to cut it up across the 45 and a first down for the Rangers.
Again, just great blocking up front, and Pigler's obviously a very talented running back, but we're blocking their front very well right now, and that's not an easy task. We talked about Jameer Bailey on the offensive side of the ball, but on the D line, he's a load to handle. I mean, he's almost 245, about 6'3", 6'4", 245, and to be able to move him like we are, our offensive line, you got to give him a lot of credit.
Newton fakes to give the slant. It's Haug, and for the second time in 2 weeks, Hunter Haug takes a slant and does the majority of the work. This time 47 yards, and it's a 13-0 Ranger lead. And
that's an RPO right there. That's Ty puts the ball in the belly of the running back. He's reading the safety. If the safety comes downhill because he's playing the run, he'll pull it and throw the little skinny post in behind him. If he stays back in coverage, he'll leave it with Pigler. So obviously that time the safety bit down on it. He pulled it, hits Haug right in stride, and if he can hit Haug or Quentin in stride, both of them have enough speed. They're going to outrun the corner just like we saw last week and just like we saw there. So an absolutely perfect ball, and if you put it in Haug's hands, he's going to run away from him.
Amaya makes it 14-0. I said 47. I should have said 53. The Rangers were at their own 47 when that play started. We're back after this. Rangers jumping on top of the Mavericks early right here on the Rangers Network.
Contractors come into our neighborhoods and make empty promises, hurting homeowners and giving good roofers a bad name. But not Lynx Roofing. We live in and support this community. We believe every Texan deserves a strong roof at a reasonable price. A roof that gives you peace of mind in the face of our strongest storms. This company was built on doing the little things right. From our inspections to our installations and unmatched warranties, when you choose Lynx Roofing, you get a product and people you can depend on. Contact Lynx Roofing today, because this community is our home too.
.149 remains in the first quarter. Rangers adding to an early score with another early score. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. That's one returned across the 15. Nice little return there before Nathan Preciado, one of their starting receivers, was forced out of bounds.
Just great coverage right there. And as we've talked about before, Amaya has the leg strength to kick it out of the stadium. But a lot of times, Smithson Valley with their attention to detail on the special teams are like, man, I don't really want him to get the ball to 25. So let's put a little more air on it, not kick it out there. Hopefully they return it. That time it paid off. They came out, great play by Philip Smith, got blocked initially early and then forced him out of bounds. And so about a 9-yard net there as if it was a touchback because they're only getting the ball in the 16.
Caleb Allen so far coming into this ball game 17 of 38 this year, 418 yards thrown, 4 touchdowns along with a pick. Pursuit early by that Ranger defense. Caden Leak, one of several guys who had a shot on McMillian there to start before they finally get him down for a loss.
Yeah, and Hudson Woods was there first to kind of blew it up. He came underneath the backside tackle. It was a counter play away, almost like a draw play. It took a long time to develop in the backfield, and the backside defensive end almost, met the running back right at the mesh point there. And so even though he didn't make the play, Hudson Woods, blew it up and allowed the Rangers to rally and make a tackle for a loss.
Hudson, a big play defender on this Ranger defense, headed to SMU on 2nd and 12. Allen keeps, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard beyond that.
Yeah, and that was a zone read right there. Quarterback reading the defensive end. In that case, it was Hudson Woods. And if he chases down the line of scrimmage to the running back, quarterback's job is to pull it. If he comes upfield, he leaves with the running back. That time, Hudson chased down, doing his job, chasing down the running back. Quarterback pulled it. Good job by the linebacker, gap exchanging over the top. But I don't think running back DeCory McMillan really likes that play a whole lot because Hudson went ahead and just tackled him with some force there after the fake. And so I don't know if he's too fired up about that play.
3rd and 10 at the 16. Allen with trips to his right, lone receiver here to our side.
This is where Coach Worsty and the defensive staff, man, they love getting in 3rd and longs. Not only is our D-line, it's the time for them to tee off, but he always comes up with some blitzes and some stunts. So he always seems to get a guy come free. So see if he dials something up here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a free rusher to the quarterback and either get a sack or force a bad throw. Looks like another delay of game, so it's going to be pushed even further back with 3rd and 15.
My first instinct was I thought Madison called the timeout.
I thought they did too.
Yeah.
Let's see what Coach Worsty dials up here. If he just lets his 4-down linemen rush or if he brings some extra pressure with the linebackers.
11 seconds. They're at their own 10. Need to get to the 26 for a first down. Allen over the middle, complete. Same play as earlier. This time, though, not enough for a first down. Preciado with his second catch of the afternoon.
We did run a little something creative up front. We blitzed a guy and then dropped another one. Almost got home, had some pressure in the face, but a good job by the quarterback, Garcia, threw it to Garcia, sitting down right in that hole, but I still don't think it's enough. Backed up this far inside your own 25, 4th and 2 into the quarter, but I bet you they're going to have to punt.
Brian Hill cleaning up my mess. That was Nathaniel Garcia. I misidentified him as Nathan Preciado. My apologies. That is Garcia's second catch. Anyway, you slice it, though. 4th down coming up for the Mavericks when we come back. Second quarter right here on the Rangers Network. Smithson Valley up by 2 touchdowns.
Every shoe they've ever worn has been black. That little voice they hear inside their heads is Coach Larry Hill. When asked their favorite color, they all agree it's always navy. They all believe that the baseball team, a certain law enforcement group, and the 4x4 side-by-side were all named after them.
Whistles before the Mavericks can get the punt off. It is on Madison. So 4th and 2 going to become 4th and longer. Not that it really matters. Looks like they were in no mood to try any kind of a punt fake right now, so they'll kick it away from deeper in their own territory.
We got 2 explosive punt returns back there with Quentin and Hunter Haug, and so if the ball gets in one of their hands, then they can do something with it, but most of the time they try to kick it away, the low liner, keep it on the ground, but if they get in their hands, watch out.
Manning's second punt of the night, much better than his first, but Haug able to receive it. Yep, around right side. He's got Green in front of him. Inside the 20 before he's forced out of bounds, but the Rangers will start with fantastic field position, up 14-0.
Yeah, and just an outstanding job by the players and the coaches of coaching what we call the new game, right? If this was 10, 15 years ago, there's about 2 blocks there that would have been decleaters on the peel-back blocks. The defenders changing direction and not looking. But obviously that's a penalty now, blindside blocks. So just outstanding job by the return unit of kind of just getting in front of them and shielding them and not taking that decleating hit, which would have resulted in a penalty. So a big explosive, and the Rangers are starting dang near inside the red zone.
Newton standing at his own 27-inch shotgun. 22's the line of scrimmage. Sampson, the catch, makes a move toward the 10. Quinton's second catch of the ball game. Go ahead, Brian.
Just another first down throw, easy completion. You can tell that Madison's defense, they're playing soft. They don't want to get beat deep. They've seen film. They've seen Haug and Quentin, how big of threats they are down the field, so they're playing soft. But so just being able to throw these short passes on first down, that time we even picked up a first down. We getting 6-7 yards on first down is huge. And we'll see if we can get Quentin in the end zone for the first time this year.
Exactly 10 yards to go on 1st and goal. Sampson, I should say, in the flat. Newton keeps up the middle. Stopped at right around the 5, maybe a yard beyond it.
And they were trying to. They actually, so many times we bring Quentin in motion and either hand it to him or we fake it to him and hand it off to the running back. That time we faked it to him and then did a bootleg and tried to throw it to him in the flats after he faked it. Pretty good job of defending by Madison and a smart play by Ty. Everything was covered, and so he stuck his foot in the ground and went and got what he can get. So 2nd and goal from the Rangers from the 3.
Newton helping that rushing average tonight, gaining 7 on that one. 2nd and goal at the 3. Braxton Sawyer in motion. Piegler the get. Nice job there, that Madison defense ready with him. Mikael Briles, safety, coming up and making the stop.
It was a really good play by him. Everything else was blocked, and the one guy that you can't account for is the deep safety, and he did a good job of triggering and making a tackle for a short gain, which is hard to do one-on-one in the open field versus Piegler. So great job by Biles to fit the run from the safety spot.
3rd and goal at the 2. Sawyer split out wide right. Brody Wick in the slot on that right side. Piegler the get. Piegler's got a touchdown. 3 possessions for the Rangers, 3 touchdowns.
Another outstanding drive. Great mixture of run, pass, short passes, play actions, motions, things like that, keeping the defense off balance. And when you can do that, and when the defense plays slow because they're having to analyze a whole bunch of things, they're not getting off the ball very quick, and our O-line up front is doing a great job dominating the line of scrimmage right now. So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Couldn't ask for a better start for the Ranger offense.
Amaya on to make it 21. Fast starts have not been an issue for the Rangers in 2025. Taking a 21-0 lead with 9:48 to go. We're back after this on the Rangers Network.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
Back here at the Rangers Network, the fancy folks in our control room saying, hey, you guys are on. You guys are on. Stop yapping in between timeouts. Again, Brian Hill alongside Hector Ledesma, Grady Elbow, Bo Wick, and Michael Libby to our left, making sure that the technical things that need to be done in order to bring you a broadcast are done, not only here on the broadcast, but in the stadium as well, as Amaya kicks us off. This one, again, into the end zone, a touchback, and the Mavs, again, will start at their own 25.
So we'll see the Ranger defense come out again. First drive, Madison comes out and has some, puts together 2 or 3 first downs, gets past midfield, and then kind of stalls out there and has a short punt. But see if they can kind of get back to what they were, what they were doing in that first drive, where a good mixture of finding the holes in the Ranger defense, some short passes, and then, trying to get some at the Ranger defense downhill runs. And so we'll see what they come out with here.
Caleb Allen. The give, a new back in the ball game. It's Elijah Brito. Brito still keeping those legs churning. The whistle did blow. So I think when it's all said and done, they're going to mark it at right around the 27.
Yeah, I couldn't tell whether that was Camacho or McGee that came down. I think it was Camacho from a safety spot. Good job by the up front of the Rangers, spilling it out, and the safety filling that alley right there and laid a pop on the running back. It's a big old back, and so good job by Camacho, I think it was, coming downhill and keeping him to a short gain.
Brito still in there at that running back spot. Appears to be his possession. Gets the ball again. Some tough running inside. A couple more yards that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, downhill is, especially with a big back like that, a little bit different style of a back. DeCorian McMillan, he's more of a speedster who can really hurt you out on the edge with some speed. But this other running back that they got in, Brito, he's a little bit bigger of a body and kind of downhill, and right there made contact only about a yard past the line of scrimmage, but he carried a few guys 2 or 3 yards, picked up some good yardage. So 3rd manageable here, 3rd and 4. But it looks like we got a Madison player, 77, offensive lineman Jonathan Alvarez, coming off the field. Looks to be a bit banged up. Hopefully he's okay. But and then another one, number 51, another offensive lineman, Jonathan Taylor's kind of limping on. So hopefully those guys are okay, and we got an officials timeout here, so both sides will get a chance to talk about it.
Alvarez and Taylor along with Jaden Porter at left tackle, Damian Davey at right guard, and Jonathan Alanis at right tackle, forming that Madison offensive line. Talking about Brito getting the last couple of carries, spelling DeCorian McMillan, who coming into this ball game had rushed 26 times for 174 yards, an average of 6.7 per carry. He's scored in these first 2 games for the Mavericks, and so Brito, we'll see if he comes back out here on 3rd and 4. And he is back on the field. 3rd and 4 from the 31 is what the Mavericks face in order to keep this drive going. 8:24 and counting on the second quarter clock from Rangers Stadium. Allen looking left. There's Jordan Clay, first down.
Yeah, much like that first drive, 3rd and short, seeing soft coverage, worried about him. Jordan Clay's such an explosive wide receiver that, if you want to throw it in front of us and take those passes, let's see how patient you are. We'll let you kind of do that. We don't want to get beat over the top. And so that time, again, just like the first drive, they kind of looked out there, saw soft coverage, and kind of threw a little 5-yard stop route, picked up an easy first down.
New set of downs for Caleb Allen, senior quarterback, and these Mavericks at the 40. Brito again spins out of a tackle toward the 40. Back to the line of scrimmage, but that could have been a whole lot worse for the Mavericks.
A late flag came in from the backside judge there. I'm not sure what it was, but he launched that thing. I mean, I think he hit Philip Smith with the flag from about 30 yards away, so heck of an arm there. But I couldn't see who it was. I think it was Hornsby, got in there real early, had a chance for a tackle at loss, but he spun out of it. But the Rangers are walking backwards. Looks like it's going to be on the Rangers. Going to be a late hit on the Rangers. So it goes from a potential tackle to loss, but about 2nd and 13 to a 15-yard penalty, getting past midfield and a fresh set of downs for Madison. I didn't see a late hit, but I guess it was, but didn't see anything. But nonetheless, ball's at the 45, fresh set of downs for the Mavs.
Madison just crossing midfield on their first possession, so this amounting to what could be their best drive thus far.
Bad snap.
Bad snap, and Allen's got to come back. He's able to fall on it. Liam McGee in hot pursuit, and Allen just smartly saying, no chances, I'm just falling on this thing.
Yeah, and that's what, in the coaching world is referred to as a drive killer. Right there, you get a couple first downs, make a couple big plays, you finally move into Smithson Valley territory, down 21-0. Okay, guys, let's go get some points on the board here. And all of a sudden, one play, bad snap, knocks you back, 20 yards, 21 yards?
Yeah.
And so not a whole lot of good play calls for 2nd and 31.
Talking moments ago about how they were at the Smithson Valley 45, they are now back at their own 34. 2nd and 31. Trips to Allen's left and barreling in his big old Justin Roberts.
And when you're in long yarded situations, passing situations, that is something that the Ranger defense, they feast on. Not only the defensive line, Coach Worstey and his staff coming up with, they can get into their exotic blitzes there, And that time we went to a 3-down with Hudson Woods actually standing up. He looped around. He was going to come free too, but Justin Roberts beat him to the punch. With his interior move, beating his offensive lineman, and what looked like a promising drive getting past midfield is now a 3rd and 38. So I would guess Madison wouldn't take too many chances here. Maybe even a quick pass or a handoff. Just let's see if we can punt this thing.
Justin Roberts, Hudson Woods, Kyle Bierman, and Caleb Barrow, the starting 4 for the Rangers.
Delay a game, knock them back even more.
A strength for this Smithson Valley defense that has several different strengths. And 3rd and 38 just became 3rd and 43.
That might be the longest, down to go that I've seen in person. I might have seen one longer on TV, but in person, 3rd and 43. I don't know if the scoreboard goes up that high. So, barring a miracle here, Rangers forcing them back and going to get the ball with good field position after this 3rd down here.
At this point, they got to get back to the Madison campus for a first down. Allen in trouble, lets it go. Brito could hang on, then he did. Nice concentration to right around the 26, so a gain of 4 on 3rd and 43.
Yeah, that's, again, I mentioned it right when it happened. It's a drive killer. It's when the ball goes over the head and then it takes an even worse bounce and starts tumbling the opposite way. It was all the quarterback can do to just to hop on it, but just absolute momentum killer and drive killer there. And so they'll be lucky that if this punt, the Smithson Valley is, the punt returners are standing at where the 1st and 10 down markers are.
Excellent observation. Pretty good punt, all things considered, for Richard Manning.
Almost got back to the 1st down marker there.
Almost did. Yeah, you know what drive's gone totally sideways when the punt returners are standing exactly where your original line of scrimmage on that set of downs was.
Yeah, and so Smith Valley offense will start with pretty good field position, not quite to the 40-yard line, but let's see, you know, they 3 for 3, doing just about everything that they wanted to do in those first couple possessions. So, again, even though game's kind of in hand, you want to see them be sharp and see if we can execute here.
The Rangers, in addition to scoring on their first 3 drives, scored on every drive in the first half in their season opening win against Roosevelt. Last week, scored on their first 2 drives, or only 2 of the first quarter against Brennan. Haug back to pass. Luke Peace down there inside the 15. Luke Peace has his first score of 2025.
And he can pass. So Haug, I mean, I was thinking it before the play started. Hey, both our wide receivers are in a condensed set. This is what we love to run reverses out of. And right when the snap, Haug starts coming back there, I said, here we go in the reverse. And then he pulls up, and actually it was pretty decent coverage. Madison didn't really fall for it. But the safety, number 3, Biles, actually, when he opened his hips, when he realized the ball was getting thrown, he fell down. So Peace was able to get over the top of him, and what a heck of a throw by Haug there. I mean, hit him right in stride, and big explosive play, and Peace gets his first touchdown of the year.
As Amaya boots the extra point, Luke Peace having himself a night. We'll get to those numbers when we come back on the Ranger Network off Smithson Valley in the first half.
Contractors come into our neighborhoods and make empty promises, hurting homeowners and giving good roofers a bad name. But not Links Roofing. We live in and support this community. We believe every Texan deserves a strong roof at a reasonable price. A roof that gives you peace of mind in the face of our strongest storms. This company was built on doing the little things right. From our inspections to our installations and unmatched warranties, when you choose Links Roofing, you get a product and people you can depend on. Contact Links Roofing today, because this community is our home too.
Rangers Network, Smithson Valley 28-0 with 4:34 remaining in the first half. And Trent Amaya, in broken record style, a touchback. And so Madison, like they so often do off these kickoffs, will start at their own 25. Luke Peace came in with 2 catches. He's got 4 tonight, including a 62-yarder for his first score of the year.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that an offense can get the tight end involved, and it just because he only had 2 coming in, that doesn't mean necessarily that the plays weren't designed for him. Maybe he was the first option, second option, that he wouldn't open that time. But he is an athletic tight end, as you can see right there, and he's going to be a big part of the offense. But anytime you can get the tight end involved in the passing game, it just makes the offense that much more explosive. And, you know, that time one play for the touchdown shows how explosive this Ranger offense can be.
And I should mention, he's only a sophomore. So the Rangers have him for 2 more years after this one.
Yeah, he'll be around for a while. We'll be calling his name for years to come. Talking about some of the other guys on both sides are committed to what colleges they're committed. Peace is committed to the Smithson Valley Rangers for 2 more years, and be happy to have him around.
Stepping up nicely in a spot vacated by the graduation of Preston Baker, one of several key seniors who have moved on following the state title from a year ago. On 2nd and 9, slants, maybe a skinny slants. Appears to be Clay. I'm looking to see if that's 11. It is.
Yeah. And speaking of Baker, you know, like so many offensive line, tight ends, fullbacks that don't necessarily get the notoriety, a lot of those senior offensive linemen deserve a shout out. And then Baker, you know, not a whole lot of catches, but, you know, did a phenomenal job in the trenches along with Carvajal at the fullback. So, you know, Braxton Sawyer kind of taking Carvajal's spot. And both of those guys, Peace and Sawyer, have done a great job filling in for those 2.
Coaching staff here at Smithson Valley, as always, doing a fantastic job of replacing a ton of guys especially offensively, who've left. Allen on 3rd and 5 deep. Intercepted. Smithson Valley's getting it back thanks to Noah Johnson.
Yeah, and kind of got away with one there. You could see the frustration on the receiver's face. Number 4, Elijah, I think it's Moton. He was pretty open. He got behind everybody, but because of the pressure by the Ranger D-line, forced the quarterback to get out of the pocket, and so he couldn't get everything he wanted to on his throw. You can see on the replay there, Caleb Allen couldn't get anything on the throw because he was being pursued by the D-line, but they did have Elijah, number 4, open back there, but because the ball was underthrown, allowed the Ranger defense to react to it. An excellent pick, and once again, the Rangers starting a good field position, defense holding that shutout.
At their own 38, it's Knutson shotgun looking right. Here's Piegler in the flat across the 45 near first down yardage.
Looks like we're going to have a hold out on the edge there. We've run that play 2 or 3 times, but every time it's pretty much been to a different guy. That time, Piegler's out in the formation, not in his usual running back position, but getting it to him in what would have been a big pickup on first down, 7-8 yards. Looks like it's going to go backwards. Somebody out on the edge got a little too handsy, which is tough. Blocking in space, the defense is at the – they have the advantage of seeing where the ball carrier is going. So when you have your back, when you're blocking out in space, you don't know where the defender is going to react. Sometimes you just hold on just a little bit too long, and looks like a hold out there. So I think it's the first penalty on the Rangers tonight.
It is.
We'll back them up. So what would have been 2nd 2, 2nd 3, replay the down, and be 1st and 20.
Briley Bowman, Cannon Wheeler, Kyle Gugliotti, Clinton Goss, and Aiden Verrett, your starting offensive linemen for the Rangers. Here's Piegler on the pitch across the 30. To the 40, breaking a tackle, making some moves, and he might have gotten all 20 of those on that one play.
Yeah, good misdirection play. Offensive line blocks left, using the discipline of the defense against them. They're chasing, they're reading O-line, and so they're running with the O-line, and then quick pitch it out to the opposite side. Great job blocking on the edge by the fullback and the receivers downfield. So. What could have been a drive killer, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 20. You just go ahead and pick it back up on the next play. So fresh set of downs.
Give Piegler exactly 20. They're at the 48, their own 48. Knutson tucks it away over the middle, looking in the direction of the tight end, or the right tackle, I should say, who sometimes goes out for a pass, Aiden Verrett.
Yeah, what an athlete that guy is. I mean, he plays offensive line. Even on the roster, you don't see this very often. When you go to Aiden Verrett and you look at him on the roster, where he wears multiple different numbers, 76 and 87.
Yep.
Because he plays offensive line, and then obviously when he plays tight end, he's got to have an eligible number to go out for a pass like that. So he's rocking 87 right now as a tight end. Also a stud pitcher on the baseball team that went to the state championship. So just an outstanding athlete, Verrett.
On 2nd and 10, Knutson pumped and then took off near the 49. I want you to explain that, Brian. I know most folks watching here on the Rangers Network well aware, but for those who are watching maybe who aren't, the casual fans, hey, want to tune in and watch some high school football, or maybe it's just one of those things with all the levels of football, this rule gets scrambled. High school, unlike the pros, it's not as simple as, hey, I'm going to make this lineman eligible on this play. No, in high school, a pass catcher has to wear a certain number.
Correct. So 50 through 79 are designated offensive line numbers. So in order to be eligible to go out for a pass, you have to wear a number outside of 50 to 79. And an offensive lineman has to wear those numbers, 50 to 79, so that the defense can recognize these are ineligible players. Our back end secondary doesn't have to cover these guys. They're not going out for a pass. And so if you have a guy like Verrett who can play both, you got to have 2 jerseys on the sideline. So when he goes out there and plays tackle, he's wearing that jersey number between 50 and 79. But if you want him to go out as a tight end and be eligible to go out for a pass, as all tight ends do, you got to put him in a number outside of the 50 to 79.
And if you're wondering, because of that, reality is the kid needs time to switch the jersey, right? So we can't, unless you take a timeout, You can't just you can't do it in between plays. Either that or the kids, Superman style, changing in a phone booth, getting that jersey on and off.
Very rare do you really have to do that, but there's been some, I remember when we were coaching, we had somebody do that, and we're like, well, does he just wear both and then take one off and the other one's already underneath it, or what do we do? But credit to the equipment staff, BZ and his staff, for being ready for when Coach Hill calls that change and having him ready.
3rd and 7 from the 49, incomplete, so the first 4th down coming up for the Rangers. Pass intended for Isaiah Reggie.
Yeah, got the ball out there. Good throw by Ty. Kind of 6, 7, 8 yard stop route there. Would have been real close to the first down, and you could tell by the Ranger offense kind of staying out there that they weren't necessarily going for the full first down right there. But even if he got stopped short, they wanted to make it 4th and manageable. Unfortunately, a little bit of a drop there, so the Ranger offense will still be in 4th and 7. But Coach Hill keeping the Ranger offense out there to see if we can go for it on 4th down. See if it's a hard count, try to draw them off sides, if they're really going to run a play. Probably going to have to call a timeout. Ooh, got it off just in time.
Here we go, 4th and 7 at the 49. Knutson under pressure. They're going to get him in a change of downs. The Madison offense coming back with 150 before the intermission.
Pretty good downfield coverage there by the Madison secondary. Good job by Ty stepping up. Looked like for a chance he had a second to maybe step up and just take off for it, but he was about to get rid of it and had a crosser coming across the field. Looks like he had a chance to hit him, but eventually the Madison rush got home. So Madison with 1:50 left with all 3 timeouts, maybe got some time to get a little bit of momentum going into half. Obviously long uphill climb that they have, but see if they can get a little momentum going into half.
Both teams with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. The stoppage a little while ago was the 2-minute warning, again new in high school football in the second and fourth quarters. Yep, this season. The fake the handoff, Allen keeps into Ranger territory across the 45.
Yeah, I don't think that was a designed quarterback run. I think that was an RPO, and we had somebody come free, and he just kind of had to ad-lib there. And pretty good job by him of recognizing that. But you had wide receivers out in the routes, so it was supposed to be an RPO of some kind, but good recognition by the quarterback pulling it down and not taking a sack, and ends up getting a pretty good chunk of yards on first down. 2nd
and 3 at the 44, even though the clock's at 1:16 and running, not an issue for the Mavericks in Ranger territory with all 3 of their timeouts. Here's Allen. Keeps again, looked like a similar play on that RPO, and this time he picks up the first down.
Yeah, and they're in no hurry here. The last thing they want to do is give the ball back to Smithson Valley with any time left. And so their goal right now, what they're talking about over the headsets, what Coach Peterson is telling his offensive coordinator, Coach Cueva, is whether we score or not, Smithson Valley is not getting the ball back. And so they're not in any hurry. They still have 3 timeouts. If they get inside the red zone, they can start using those timeouts. But they definitely want to take all the time up off the clock, knowing they get the ball coming out in the second half.
Well, we talked at the start of the broadcast about how the Mavericks, deceptive 0-2, starting the year with that game at New Braunfels. And, Brian, you mentioning before the broadcast, the Unicorns, by no means a slouch. Last year a playoff team, meeting the Rangers. The Unicorns, one of the Smithson Valley victims on the way to the state title. So they lost at New Braunfels, did Madison, to open the year 35-31. Last week, a good Harlan team beat them by just 4, 28-24. And so the first game really in which they find themselves really, I don't want to say not in it. It's still the first half, but facing this kind of a deficit.
Yeah, and it's been a true what you draw up if you're Smithson Valley coaching staff, the formula for being successful, right? Having short fields, defense getting 3 and outs, getting turnovers, short punts, Ranger offense jogging out with short fields, good mix of explosive plays, and so just pretty much perfect first half for the Rangers on both sides of the ball.
At the 41st and 10, and down goes Allen.
Again, just another great design by Coach Worstein and the defensive staff. That's a linebacker, Hornsby, coming on a blitz untouched. So you could tell there's some D-line movement. If you look at the replay here, he's up on the line of scrimmage, and he just comes untouched with they got to worry about Roberts and Barrow and all those guys in there. And so another great play, another tackle for loss here. And now Smithson Valley's going to use a timeout. Now we got 3rd and long, maybe forcing a punt situation. And with the dangerous returners we have back there with Haug and Q, might get great field position, and Smithson Valley's thinking we might have another chance to get some points on the board for half.
Kyle Bierman the stop. Kyle coming in with 8 tackles. one of them of the solo capacity, one of them for loss. And with that, 3rd and 20, 29 ticks left. And yeah, we wait to see if maybe the Rangers get another shot here.
And again, this is probably the second or third drive that Madison, you think, okay, here we go. They've got some things going, pick up a couple first downs, move into Smithson Valley territory. Last drive, it was the bad snap that lost them 20 yards. This time it was a first down with a big sack by Hornsby, and now they went backwards again. And so you could tell Madison, they're close. They've got the pieces there. They've got the talent there. Coach Peterson and his staff do a great job. And so you could tell that they're close. It's just one play, it seems like, each drive that really sets them back and kind of kills the drive. But if they can string something together, they've had a few pretty good plays and at times, hurt the Ranger defense. But going backwards really kills the drive, and now we got another one, 3rd and 20.
At exactly midfield. 4 wide. Allen hit as he throws down the sideline. Caught inside the 10 at right around the 7. Jordan Clay showing you why he was so sought after before committing to Baylor this summer.
Yeah, it's perfect coverage. We got a corner who's underneath him. We got a safety over the top. And they just threw it up, and that's what he gives you. When in doubt, throw it to him. It's never a bad call. He goes up and just high points it over 2 defenders. It was covered well, but hard to cover that when he goes up and a 6'4" receiver goes up and high points it like that.
42 yards. They go to Clay again, this time on the slant or an in route, incomplete. Credit the Rangers secondary. The backers is back there as well with the pass breakup.
Yeah, great coverage on the back end by Haug. You had Camacho waiting there for him. To actually a pretty decent throw, just a hair late. You can see on the replay there, he held it just a hair long on the slant route. You've got to get that ball out as soon as his outside foot hits on that slant route. Otherwise, you're running the risk of him getting too far in there and the safety sitting there and either intercepting it or having a big collision there. So just a hair late, had a chance at it, but great coverage by Haug and Camacho from a safety spot.
And Coach Blaine Peterson and his staff want to talk before a 2nd and goal from the 8 with just 10 seconds remaining in the first half. The Mavericks on the verge of getting on the board for the first time in a game in which they trailed by 4 touchdowns. This easily their best possession and really, truly their only scoring opportunity thus far tonight. Yeah,
and again, I think one of the things the Madison staff is going to talk about at halftime is how do we get the ball in Jordan Clay's hands more often? I think he has 3 or 4 catches, but that was the first one that was kind of a shot downfield. And credit to the Smithson Valley defense, we're capping him a lot. We're in cover 2 with a safety over the top, so they really can't. They're not going to have him open in a one-on-one situation. So most of them are underneath throws. But as you could tell in that play two plays ago, with a guy like that, even if they're in double coverage, sometimes let's just throw it up to him and see what happens. And so my guess is they're going to try to find a way to get him more involved in the second half.
3 catches for Clay tonight. The most recent one going for 42 for the game. He's plus 60. Last year, 43 catches, nearly 900 yards in 2024.
You can see the attention he's drawn. We got a walked out backer, a corner, and a safety sitting over there to a single receiver. And so he is drawing a lot of attention with a light box if they wanted to run it.
Allen over the middle. Looking in the direction of, I'm looking at, trying to tell if that was, it was probably McMillian, or is that 7 instead of 2? It's 7. It's Preciado.
You say it better than I do.
He was
with all the attention over there on Clay. Wisely, they tried to take an in-break and skinny route, but again, good coverage by the secondary. Coach Worsey's going to call a defense here, or call a timeout here for the defense. With 1 play-ish left, unless it's a quick hitter, 5 seconds left. He wanted to bring his defense over, make sure we're in the right one so that we don't give up a touchdown here with only 5 seconds left. It'll be curious to see if they don't get this and there's still time left. Are they just going to try to get on the board, get a little something out of this drive and get 3 points? Or are they, hey, we're down 28, we might as well, and go for it. So hopefully we get the stop on 3rd down and see.
Well, interesting way in which this drive is kind of shaken out for the Mavericks. It looked like they were once again in a impossible situation on that 3rd and 20, but they converted on the 42-yard pass to Jordan Clay. And so here they are, 3rd and goal at the 8. And want to get your thoughts here on this, Brian. What would be the Brian Hill philosophy? You're down by 4 touchdowns. If you have to make a decision here on 4th and goal from, let's say, they gain a couple, or let's say they don't because it's an incomplete pass, 4th and goal from the 8, would you take the 3, get points, go into the locker room feeling good, or are you thinking we need at least 6?
I think it depends on if you get anything here. To me, I try to throw a back shoulder to Clay here. That's a quick hitter. If he scores, great. If not, we're still going to have the 6 seconds won't run off with a quick hitter. So we still have time to make that decision. But I'd go for it. I mean, you got nothing to lose. I'd throw a back shoulder here to Clay, and that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to throw a jump ball, though.
Jump ball for Clay in the end zone, out of bounds. He did come down with it, but not inbounds.
Now the decision time, right? They are going to run out the field goal team, and I think that's smart. I mean, hey, we've had a couple drives where we've gotten the red zone, haven't gotten anything out of it. Let's at least, for this one drive where we've gotten down here, let's have something to show for it. Let's get some points on the board, go into halftime with maybe a little bit of momentum. And so they're going to bring out the field goal unit to try to, not be shut out here in the first half. But I think that was a good play call by them. Let's give our best athlete a chance with something that's fast to ensure the 6 seconds don't run out. And they dang near got it. He caught it. He was just out of bounds.
In addition to handling their punting duties, Richard Manning, their kicker, from 25 yards away. And that's the way we go into the locker room with Madison's first points of the night. 3 on the scoreboard for the Mavericks, 28 for the Rangers. Halftime is next, and then we'll see you again for the second half. Rangers Network from right here at Ranger Stadium, 3rd week of the season, off Smithson Valley in these first 24 minutes.
At Lynx Roofing, every job has a halftime. Time to finish strong.
Okay, it was a rough start to the half. We kept our composure, though. We know the heat got to us. Jonathan, you pulled through, though. The second half, I'm going to need all your guys to clean up the material. Can you do that?
Yes, Coach. I got you.
Okay, John, now that the tear-off is behind us, your team has to focus on the dry-in and the install of those beautiful GF shingles. Can you do that for me?
Yes, Coach.
All right, then. Let's go out there. Let's execute. Let's make sure that house never forgets that Lynx was there. Let's go.
Sure, it was just a skit. But for us, every roof is game time.
Roofing doesn't always work like this, but you can't wait until the second half of your roof's life to make adjustments. Here at Lynx Roofing, we repair and replace roofs, so we have you covered any time of the year.
Hey, tell them about Smithson Valley.
Oh, that's right. Lynx Roofing is a proud gold sponsor of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program, committed to the community both on and off the field.
Welcome to the 25-26 school year. Each year, when we gather here, we're not just launching a calendar of classes and events. We're opening a new chapter in the lives of every student who walks through our doors. And this year, we're doing it with a clear and powerful focus: nurture, knowing every student by name and need, and developing the whole child. Let's pause and consider what that really means. To know each soul by name is more than just memorizing rosters. It's a commitment to see them. Not just the students who always raise their hand, not just the ones who make us laugh or bring us joy, but also the quiet ones, the struggling ones, the ones who challenge us, and yes, the ones who are easy to overlook. To know each student by need is to understand that behind every pair of eyes is a story. Sometimes a joyful one, but always a story worth hearing. There's a parable, ancient but deeply relevant, about a shepherd who had 100 sheep. One day, one went missing, and while the 99 were safely grazing, the shepherd left them to go after the one that was lost. He searched until he found it, and when he did, he celebrated. Not because he regained his full herd, but because the one sheep mattered that much. That story isn't just about sheep, it's about people, it's about our children, and it's about us. Because every single child who enters the classroom deserves to feel like they are the one who matters. That someone would notice if they weren't there. That someone would come looking for them if they were lost. academically, socially, or emotional, that someone would take the time to fully understand them. This is the kind of nurturing we're talking about. Not surface level attention, but intentional care. The kind that says, you are seen, you are known, you are valued, and you belong here. This year, let's remember that our mission is not just to raise test scores and produce high-performing students. Our mission is to develop whole children, thinkers, creators, problem solvers, kind human beings, children who feel safe to take risks, children who learn how to fail and how to rise again, children who discover their voice and their worth. That's the work of nurturing, and yes, it's hard. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes a village, but the results, they last a lifetime. So let's be the educator who sees the child that's withdrawn. Let's be the coach and the mentor who believe in the child who struggles. Let's be the counselor and the administrator who fights for equity, for dignity, and for opportunity. Let's be the team that goes after the one every time and brings them back into the fold. Because when we say we know each student by name and need, we are saying to each child, you matter and we won't leave you behind. This school year holds so much promise, and I believe with all my heart that what we plant in our students now will shape not just their future, but the future of our communities, our nation, and our world. Let's walk into this year with bold hearts and open hands. Let's nurture, let's lead, and let's love furiously. Thank you for being the kind of educator who make this mission real. Wishing you an outstanding 2025-26 school year ahead.
The Big Ten's the real deal. She terminates. Oh, what a block.
Oh my, and how about that wicked swing? The Big Ten has continued to be the bar setter.
Deliver. Another big time boom.
Some of the best volleyball I've ever seen.
Termination. With some thunder. Money. Blocked.
Turning up the heat.
Vaporizes.
Buries it.
Big Ten volleyball all season long.
It's a big rip.
On the Big Ten Network.
Is the Texas Hill Country your home? Then trust the contractor who lives in and supports this community. We don't just show up after a storm. Our office is right here. The roofs we build are in our neighborhoods. The programs we support are where our kids go to school. You'll have plenty of choices for your next roof. Choose the team who will stand with you long after the storm has passed. We're Lynx Roofing, and if you live in the Hill Country, we want to be your contractor.
Comal ISD has always been more than a district. It's a community where friendships are made, traditions are built, and futures are launched. Now, we're inviting you, our alumni, to join the next chapter. The Comal Education Foundation is launching the Alumni Network to celebrate your stories, build connections, and support today's students. Wherever life is taking you, we want to welcome you back. Visit comalisd.org/alumni and join today.
I've helped families in Southern California restore order to their dream homes. Now I've moved my family to Park City, Utah, where I'm rebuilding my business. Let's get to work. Oh my God! New town, new business, new Rex.
Help I Wrecked My House. Season premiere September 24th at 8 on HGTV.
Watch HGTV on GVTC Cable Channel 313. Or switch to the new GVTC TV and watch on Channel 88.
Gavin, appreciate you joining us again. I'm Chris Cooley. We're here from the GVTC Foundation, and we want to talk to you about the scholarship you applied for with us, the CTE, the Career and Technical Education Scholarship. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
Where did you find out about this scholarship from? How did you hear about it?
Actually, one of my friends texted it to me just because they knew I participated in the CTEs.
Well, let me tell you, that is a very good friend, because we're here to tell you you have won the 2025 GVTC Foundation $7,500 CTE scholarship. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. How are y'all doing today?
Good.
I think.
Well, sorry to call you down to the office. This is Chris Cooley, and we're here with the GVTC Foundation. We wanted to talk to you about the Ola Armstrong Scholarship that you applied for. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you've applied for quite a few, right? There's a lot of scholarships out there, but we're here to tell you that you are the recipient of the 2025 $15,000 Ola Armstrong Scholarship from the GVTC Foundation. Congratulations to you.
I couldn't be more proud. Thank you so much.
Well, hello, Riley. This is Chris Cooley here from the GVTC Foundation. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Well, sorry to catch you on the road.
No, you're good.
We looks like you're in trouble here. There's a lot of people here, but we've got some questions about your application. This is regarding our GVTC Foundation Richie T. Sorrells Scholarship.
Yes, sir.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes, sir, it does.
I'm sure you filled out a lot of applications. We see you're on the road. I know you're coming back from a school trip, so we'll jump right to it and tell you congratulations. You are the recipient of the 2025 GVTC Foundation $25,000 Richie T. Sorrells Scholarship. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I was not expecting this.
Well, I plan on going into graphic design at Texas State University, and hopefully afterwards being able to use that in my own career experience and hopefully start a business or work through a business, learning on that.
Well, I just want to start by saying thank you to the GVTC Foundation again for giving me this opportunity. It'll go a long way in helping pay for college by covering just a chunk of my first semester or more. I'm planning to do something with math, not quite sure yet, but perhaps actuarial science, and this will definitely help further my education in that. So thank you very much again.
So this is going to go towards my education at Texas A&M University. I plan to major in animal science and pursue a career in veterinary medicine, whether that be through working in a vet clinic or product development and research. It's been a passion of mine for many, many years, and I plan to pursue that further in the future. I want to say thank y'all so much for all that y'all do to support youth development in our community. It means so much to me and countless other youth, and it really encourages youth in our community, whether that by acknowledging their leadership, community service, and hard work. So I just want to say thank you for everything that y'all do to support youth in our community. It means so much to me and countless others.
Congratulations to all of you, to the students and to your parents as well. It's a big day for y'all, but it's also a really big day for all of us. As Richie mentioned, this is who we are. So I think for us, you know, what we do in the community, investing in the students, to have a day like this, to be able to come and see the faces, and see, and I know the people that get to award these, they get to see the real surprises when you guys go, which is great. I think they video that so we can see it too. But it's just a great day for all of us. And so glad y'all are here to all celebrate this together.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Homecoming is a special night. First, we'd like to give a special welcome back to all former students who are in the stands. Homecoming also affords us the opportunity to recognize some of our current students as well. Thank you for joining us for our 2025 Smithson Valley High School homecoming ceremony. The Student Council here at Smithson Valley is proud to present this year's winning homecoming court. These special rangers were nominated and then elected by their peers to represent them on the field tonight. At this time, please direct your attention to the 50-yard line where the Smithson Valley Navy JLOTC is performing a sword arch for the homecoming court. The sword arch is commanded by Cadet Senior Chief Orion Rutten, supported by Cadet Lieutenant Junior Grade Zane Silverson, Cadet Lieutenant Commander Zoe Wishing, Cadet Ensign Emily Baker, Cadet Lieutenant Junior Grade Logan Norman, Cadet Ensign Mason Freed, Cadet Ensign Chelsea Waddell, and Cadet Lieutenant Araceli Tejada. Please give these fine young cadets a round of applause. And now it's time to present our 2025 Smithson Valley Ranger Homecoming Court. The freshman class is represented by the following: Duke Holton Anderson. Holton is escorted this evening by his parents, Michael and Kim Anderson. Duchess Jaslyn Brooks. Jaslyn is escorted this evening by her parents, Derek and Melton Brooks. Duke Dylan DeToto. Dylan's escorts tonight are his parents, Michael and Karen DeToto. Duchess Katie Freeman. Katie is being escorted by her best friend, Ashley Topping and Addie Topping. Duke Yuri Flood. Yuri is being escorted by his parents, Thomas and Lydia Flood. Duchess Dylan Lowry. Dylan is escorted this evening by her parents, Lynn and Reagan Lowry. Duke Preston Pierce. Preston is escorted by his parents, Casey and Erica Pierce. Duchess Emma Schmidt. Emma's escorts are her stepfather, Brad Lissy, and her mother, Tasha Lissy. The sophomore class is represented this evening by Duchess Audrey Ickey. Audrey is being escorted this evening by her stepfather, Scott Scott, and her mother, Megan Scott. Duke Porter Cox. Porter is escorted by his parents, Trent and Casey Cox. Duchess Nora Lovelace. Nora is escorted this evening by her parents, Pierce and Chrissy Lovelace. Duke Paxton Ingles. Paxton is escorted by his parents, James and Jessica Ingles. Duchess Sophia Meckler. Sophia is escorted this evening by her parents, Patrick and Mary Meckler. Duke Griffin Kalapaka. Griffin is escorted tonight by his parents, Danny and Angela Kalapaka. Duchess Reese York. Reese is escorted this evening by her father, Chris York. Our junior class is represented by the following: Duchess Adele Eves. Adele is escorted this evening by her father, Wayne Eves, and her mother, Judith Eves. Duke Weston Haney. Weston is a varsity football player represented on the field by his parents, Chris and Claire Haney. Duchess, Bo Briggs. Bo is escorted tonight by her father, Howard Briggs, and mother, Jenny Briggs, as well as her little brother, Brian Briggs. Duke, Aaron Leonardo. Aaron is accompanied this evening by his parents, Angelo and Jessica Leonardo, and his little sister, Elena Leonardo. Duchess, Riley Fox. Riley escorts tonight by her father, Clint Fox, and her mother, Kim Fox. Duke, Miller Trevino. Miller is accompanied tonight by his parents, Mike and Ashley Trevino. Duchess, Kendall Keller. Kendall is being escorted by her parents, Garrett and Taylor Keller, as well as her younger brother, Reed Keller. Duke, Trent Trussell. Trent is also a varsity football player and is represented on the field tonight by his parents, Brian and Amanda Trussell. And now for the Smithson Valley High School senior class, the class of 2026, which is represented on the field tonight by the following students. Duke, Antonio Agras. Antonio is escorted tonight by his mother, Heather Agras. Duchess, Valentina Bisono. Valentina's escorts tonight are her parents, Frank and Alicia Bisono. Duke, Cole Cash. Cole is escorted this evening by Marshall and Rissa Cash. Duchess, Maddie Fox. Maddie is escorted this evening by her parents, Luke and Michelle McConaughey. Duke, Milo Corona. Milo is escorted tonight by his father, Joseph Corona, and his mother, Mary Corona, and stepfather, Juan Garcia, as well as his brother, Austin Corona. Duchess, Grace Helms. Grace is escorted by her parents, Mark and Michelle Helms. Duke, Gavin Sneed. Gavin is escorted by his parents, Dennis and Helen Sneed. Duchess, Kendall Young. Kendall is escorted tonight by her parents, Will and Kristen Young. After selecting the initial court, each class voted to bestow additional honors on a select few individuals. And now for the crowning of Smithson Valley's 2025 Homecoming Court Princes and Princesses and our King and Queen. For Prince and Princess of the freshman class, the winners are Prince Yuri Flood. And Princess Jasmine Brooks. For Prince and Princess of the sophomore class, the winners are Prince Porter Cox and Princess Sophia Leffert. For Prince and Princess of the junior class, the winners are Prince Aaron Leonardo and Princess Adele Eves. And Prince and Princess of the senior class, the winners are Prince Gavin Sneed and Princess Kendall Young. And finally, Smithson Valley's 2025 Homecoming King and Queen, chosen by their peers to represent them, are King Cole Cash and Queen Grace Helms. We would like to thank our principal, Ms. Stacia Snyder, the Smithson Valley Student Council, and the NJROTC for dedicating their time and energy to help with our ceremony this year. We wish everyone a safe drive home after the game and wish you and your families the very best. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. This concludes the Smithson Valley High School 2025 Homecoming Ceremony. We invite everyone to stay after the game to watch your award-winning Silver Spurs and Silverados as they perform their traditional skirt and star routine. Afterwards, you won't want to miss the spectacular performance by our mighty Ranger Band.
At Lynx Roofing, every job has a halftime. Time to finish strong.
Okay, it was a rough start to the half. We kept our composure though. We know the heat got to us. Jonathan, you pulled through though. The second half, I'm gonna need all your guys to clean up the material. Can you do that?
Yes, coach, I got you.
Okay, John, now that the tear-off is behind us, your team has to focus on the dry-in and the install of those beautiful GF shingles. Can you do that for me?
Yes, coach.
All right then, let's go out there, let's execute. Let's make sure that that house never forgets that Lynx was there. Let's go.
Sure, it was just a skit. But for us, every roof is game time.
Roofing doesn't always work like this, but you can't wait until the second half of your roof's life to make adjustments. Here at Lynx Roofing, we repair and replace roofs, so we have you covered any time of the year.
Hey, tell them about Smithson Valley.
Oh, that's right. Lynx Roofing is a proud gold sponsor of the Smithson Valley Athletic Program, committed to the community both on and off the field.
Welcome to the 25-26 school year. Each year, when we gather here, we're not just launching a calendar of classes and events. We're opening a new chapter in the lives of every student who walks through our doors. And this year, we're doing it with a clear and powerful focus: nurture, knowing every student by name and need, and developing the whole child. Let's pause and consider what that really means. To know each soul by name is more than just memorizing rosters. It's a commitment to see them. Not just the students who always raise their hand, not just the ones who make us laugh or bring us joy, but also the quiet ones, the struggling ones, the ones who challenge us, and yes, the ones who are easy to overlook. To know each student by need is to understand that behind every pair of eyes is a story. Sometimes a joyful one, but always a story worth hearing. There's a parable, ancient but deeply relevant, about a shepherd who had 100 sheep. One day, one went missing, and while the 99 were safely grazing, The shepherd left them to go after the one that was lost. He searched until he found it, and when he did, he celebrated. Not because he regained his full herd, but because the one sheep mattered that much. That story isn't just about sheep, it's about people, it's about our children, and it's about us. Because every single child who enters the classroom deserves to feel like they are the one who matters. That someone would notice if they weren't there. That someone would come looking for them if they were lost, academically, socially, or emotionally. That someone would take the time to fully understand them. This is the kind of nurturing we're talking about. Not surface level attention, but intentional care. The kind that says, you are seen, you are known, you are valued, and you belong here. This year, let's remember that our mission is not just to raise test scores and produce high-performing students. Our mission is to develop whole children, thinkers, creators, problem solvers, kind human beings, children who feel safe to take risks, children who learn how to fail and how to rise again, children who discover their voice and their worth. That's the work of nurturing, and yes, it's hard. It takes time.
Back here at Rangers Stadium. Hope you enjoyed the homecoming festivities, always fun. Not only halftime ceremonies and the naming of the courts for homecoming, but also great for alums to come back, chance to catch up, visit with each other, and all that neat stuff, especially at a unique community like Smithson Valley. Speaking of alums, Brian Hill alongside as we start the second half. Kickoff by Amaya, as it so often does, goes through the back of the end zone. And so Madison, who's looking to build off a field goal at the buzzer in the second quarter, will get the ball first here to start quarter number 3.
Yeah, and we'll see how they kind of handle it. Obviously, the last drive of the half is where they got the points, but they were moving the ball at times. They'd string together a couple first downs, then one bad play, whether it be a penalty, bad snap, something like that, kind of set them back, but they got on the board with the last drive right before half, see if they build on it. If it were me, I'd try to get it into Jordan Clay's hands as often as I can.
Clay with 3 catches in that first half, a big one for 42 yards that put him in position to be able to eventually kick the field goal. Caleb Allen's first pass goes to Jordan Clay. 6, maybe 7 by the time he's done, across the 30.
And again, probably something they talked about at halftime. How do we get him more involved in the game? Most of the time he's an outside receiver when they have 2 receivers out there, or he's by himself as a solo receiver into the boundary where we can have another safety on top of it. That time they put him in the slot, which makes it hard to double team him. Ran a quick speed out, and they got the ball first play of the first half, got it in his hands.
Last week in a close loss to Harlan, 28-24, Clay catching 3 passes for 107 yards. He's got 4 receptions for around 70-75 tonight. To give up the middle on 2nd and 5, not much. That Ranger D, Justin Roberts, so active in that first half, picking up right where he left off.
Yeah, he anchors that defensive interior. I mean, obviously him and Barrow both on the inside. Truth of all L's in there as well. But Roberts has been causing havoc tonight, getting off double teams, getting penetration up the middle. It's hard to run when you can't control the nose or the 3 technique, and he's been getting through double teams, creating pressure all night. Stop for no gain there, brings up a 3rd medium.
Twins to our side, lone receiver. It appears to be Clay up top on 3rd and 4. To Clay goes Allen, forced out of bounds after the first down catch.
And again, you might be saying like, hey, 3rd down, that's kind of the 3rd time, that on 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, that it's kind of been a short throw, been able to pick up a relatively easy 3rd down. But at the same time, they only have 3 points, and that's Smithson Valley's kind of philosophy. If you want to do that, and if you're patient enough to do that over and over, good on you. But we're not going to give up the 50, 60-yard home run ball over the top. And so they'll give them that all night and see how many times they're willing to throw that.
New set of downs at their own 38. A minute 45 into half number 2. Not much there. Making sure that that's number 2, if I am correct. And yes, it is. It is DeCorian McMillian. Active early before Elijah Brito got some carries later in the half for the Mavericks on his first touch of the second 24 minutes. He gets back to the line of scrimmage.
A good play by Barrow there, playing defensive end. Gets up the field, doesn't let it outside. He initially wraps him up, and then Camacho from his safety position comes up and lays the final blow. Good pop on him. Anytime a safety's making a tackle for no gain, you know he's flying around.
Empty backfield on 2nd and 10 for Caleb Allen. Looking right where he had 3 receivers on the set. Penalty marker as Allen tries to escape. Hudson Woods there for the stop, but we'll see if it stands.
Yeah, it's thrown in the area of holding back there, and obviously it was probably a pretty obvious one because you see multiple flags laying on. So if the white hat and the side judge both see it, then it was probably pretty egregious. It was on, I think they were holding Truth back there, and so he was on the ground, and so an obvious hold there. Smithson Valley would have been in a 3rd and long situation anyway. Pretty decent scramble to pick up a few yards, but Coach Worsty, Coach Hill decided to push him back there. It brings up a 2nd and 20.
Nathaniel Garcia and Nathan Preciado, the receivers alongside with Jordan Clay for these Mavericks at the skill spots. The tight end is Gabriel Guerra. Mentioned Decorian McMillion's name moments ago. The quarterback is Caleb Allen. 2nd and 20. Allen over the middle. Screen, and Ranger defense ready and waiting.
Yeah. All three or four defensive linemen all read it perfectly. Woods, Truth, Barrow, Roberts. You know, as their coaches always say, if someone's not blocking you, then there's probably something going on there. You know, raise the antennas a little bit. So they did a great job of recognizing that. Offensive linemen didn't put a whole lot of effort into blocking them, so they slammed on the brakes and kind of waited for that screen pass. So they were well versed in that and a good job reacting. No gain, bringing up 3rd and extra long again.
20 to go, and again an empty backfield with 5 wides. Over the middle, complete. It's Clay across the 40 toward the 45. He's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, good throw right there, standing in the pocket, delivering a good ball to Clay. And I agree with the Madison staff here. You got nothing to lose. Let's go for it. I mean, we're trying to build on some momentum. We scored with the last drive. We've gotten a good chunk, 15, 16, 17 yards here. Bring up a 4th and manageable. Let's see if we can make this a ball game. Because if we punt it here and Smithson Valley goes down and scores, the game's out of reach. So let's go ahead and see if we can make it a ball game right here. So I agree with going for it, even though they're on their own end of the field.
They mark it at the 44, so 4th and 4. Allen looking left, in trouble, running for his life for most of the night, incomplete. Looking in the direction, Jordan Clay was out there, but I don't think he was intending it for Jordan. I think he overthrew McMillian, who appeared to be on some kind of wheel route.
Yeah, a good adjustment by the Smithson Valley defense. There's been a couple 3rd downs in a row where they've either just run a 5-yard little stop route and picked it up, or they've run a little speed out, 3-step speed out by the inside receiver. They tried to come back to it that time. Coach Worsty in the secondary, they called a little cloud coverage there, so they had an outside linebacker running with them, but also they had a corner sitting right there waiting if he did throw it. So actually a pretty smart play by the quarterback, not letting it go, tried to buy some time, and just good coverage down the field. So Smithson Valley takes over in plus territory, looking to pick up right where they left off offensively.
Hudson Woods forcing Allen in a hurry. He's got 4 quarterback pressures coming into this ball game, does Hudson, and causing that incompletion. And now the turnover on downs. Piegler, the first get offensively for Smithson Valley here in the 3rd quarter. Maybe 4 there. Well, they're going to call it 3. 2nd and 7 officially on the scoreboard. Hunter Haug to our side. In this direction, Haug wrestled down at the 31. We'll see where they mark it. Maybe they're going to give him, they'll put him down right around the 31, 32, I think the 32.
Interesting. Madison's jumped into a 4-down. They're kind of a 3-down team, 3 defensive linemen, 3-4 defense. Ran that pretty much the entire first half, and now they've kind of jumped into a 4-down, 4 D linemen, which tells me that their focus here in the second half is to try to stop the run. Now they're back into their 3-down with 3 defensive linemen, and so trying to jump in and out and catch the Rangers off guard a little bit.
Quick pass to Piegler. And that Madison D converging in a hurry.
I think that's probably why Coach Hill called that play, because in the previous play, they were in a 4 down and didn't have a walked backer out there over our multiple receivers. So he said, okay, if you're going to try to stop the run and you're not going to put numbers out there to the wide receiver, then we're going to go ahead and throw it out there. Madison jumps back in their 3 down, having a walked backer out there, an extra body. And so that time they actually had us outnumbered out there. And so it'll be interesting to see if they keep jumping in and out of different defenses.
Brody Wick, top of your screen. Hunter Haug here on the bottom. Knutson whistles.
Someone on the right side of our line. I couldn't tell whether it was the tackle or the tight end, but somebody jumped a little bit early. So bring up a 2nd and 15 now.
Briley Bowman, Cannon Wheeler, the left tackle and the left guard respectively. Kyle Gugliotti is the center. Clinton Goss, the right guard. Aiden Verrett, when he wears 76, is the right tackle. We say when he wears 76 because Aiden will also occasionally put on the number 87, and you'll see him in more of a tight end spot. 2nd and 15 at the Madison 37. 3 wide. Knutson looking left in the direction of Brody Wick. Out to the flat. It's Piegler. Loads of room. Hurdles a defender across the 25.
Wow, what a play. And just a really good job by Ty as well. I mean, you say, okay, well, he threw it out to the flats, but you could tell he's trying to look downfield. We're going for Brody Wick over the top. Madison defense drops back, so he gets to all the way to his 3rd progression, flips his feet, goes through his progression, gets his shoulders all the way turned, throws a dart out there to the sideline, and Piegler does the rest, turns a check down into a 15-yard gain and a hurdle, a highlight tape hurdle, and gets all that penalty yardage back and picks up a 1st down.
Josiah Thomas, a cornerback for Madison, went low. Piegler took to the air at the 22. Piegler getting the call, bouncing it outside. 15, nearing the 10. Oof, anytime someone goes down like that, you hold your breath a little bit.
I'm surprised that's not a penalty, either a horse collar, or now they've kind of implemented that hip drop tackle where you jump on the back, and that's where you see most of the lower body injuries is when someone's chasing from behind and either grab a hold of the back or jump on and kind of go dead weight. Glad to see Piegler get up. He's jogging up the field. Hopefully he just needs a little bit of a breather. But anytime, you get pulled down from the backside like that, it's a little bit scary. Hopefully didn't get rolled up there, and hopefully he's okay.
Gunnar Shoquist, number 22, in for Piegler. 3 wides on 1st and goal from the 10. Knutson looking over. And the Ranger coaching staff wants to chat.
Yeah, it looks like they went with like a hard count and look over the sideline, get a new play, and then Ty kept kind of putting his hands up and so some sort of miscommunication. Play clock was running down, so he decided to take a timeout, make sure everybody's on the same page instead of taking a penalty down here inside the 10-yard line.
Knutson, the first half touchdown pass to Hunter Haug that covered 53 yards. His touchdown pass of the night came in to tonight's action with the 2 scores, 15 of 28 coming into tonight, 291 yards, has yet to throw a pick. And saying that, I hope I don't jinx it here.
Oh, man.
Please don't blame me.
Yeah,
I know. As I was reading it, I thought to myself, I've passed the point of no return. I've got to say it. But I think, hey, Ty better than the announcer's jinx. He's good enough to beat it. A couple of rushes tonight as well for the young man who has, as just a junior, received a whole lot of interest from colleges, including locally UTSA and the likes of A&M as well. When you talk regionally as well.
Yeah, I think just picked up this week. Picked up another one from Tulane, I believe. So got a number of D1 offers, and he certainly has all the tools to do it.
Has the ball, crossed the middle, incomplete.
Kind of like we talked about when Madison was downside in the red zone, those little quick slants, that ball's got to come out quick. That time he couldn't. He had pressure in his face, so he had to hold it for just a hair longer than what he wanted to. So by the time the ball came out, that safety who was sitting in the middle of the field was able to kind of get in front and break it up as well. And so had a little bit of pressure in his face, which delayed it coming out, but still threw it low and hard to where only his guy can get it, if anybody. I thought you were going to jinx him on the next play there because there's a safety waiting right there, but fortunately it wasn't.
in the direction of Brody Wick on 2nd and goal from the 10. Knutson keeps, and Knutson is into the end zone. 5th touchdown of the game for the Rangers, first of the second half. 34-3, 4:22 remaining in the third quarter, and Trent Amaya's point after to come.
Yeah, fake it to the fly sweep and then run quarterback counter back the other way. Again, when your quarterback can run, it's such an advantage to an offense because you gain an extra hat blocking-wise. You can send somebody out in the formation, or in this case, bring somebody in motion. They have to honor that. They got to get someone out of the box. They got to have someone running with it. And now you're running your 6-man blocking scheme like you would with a fullback and a running back without having another guy in the field. So it's one less guy in the box. So again, anytime your quarterback can run the ball, it's a massive advantage.
You're watching the Rangers Network right here at Ranger Stadium, Smithson Valley, up 32 on the Madison Mavericks.
Is the Texas Hill Country your home? Then trust the contractor who lives in and supports this community. We don't just show up after a storm. Our office is right here. The roofs we build are in our neighborhoods. The programs we support are where our kids go to school. You'll have plenty of choices for your next roof. Choose the team who'll stand with you long after the storm has passed. We're Lynx Roofing, and if you live in the Hill Country, we want to be your contractor.
Back here at Rangers Stadium, Smithson Valley kicking off with a 35-3 lead. Amaya's kick lands flat out outside the end zone. That kind of a leg. Of course, if you followed the Rangers, and many of you have over the last several years, at no surprise, you know that Trent Amaya, one of the better football players on this team, and really in the area, period. A young man who plays his position as well as, well, just anybody plays theirs.
Yeah, and fortunately for him and us, the offense had put up a lot of points this year, so he's gotten a lot of opportunities for PATs and kickoffs, things like that. But he's a guy, obviously, he's got the leg strength. He's made 50-plus yard field goals, things like that. And so it's such a blessing to have that at the high school level, be able to put the ball in the back of the end zone and knowing you got great field goal range as well.
At the
Good
25,
tackle.
Yeah, very good tackle.
It was McGee, I believe.
It is. Liam shoestring on Jordan Clay, and the Mavericks trying to get the ball to their best player seemingly just about every single play.
Yeah, and it's not a bad plan, but that time, I mean, if you're Madison, hey, we throw it out here to get the ball in his hands one-on-one versus a corner, they'll take that every day. But a great job by McGee in a great open field tackle. And you see him following Clay right now. He was on the other side of the field. Clay switched sides. McGee's following him right now. So that tells you that the Ranger defense and the defensive coaching staff has a lot of trust in McGee to follow him around.
Liam McGee, senior cornerback. First year starting.
Oh.
Big hit, incomplete. Looking in the direction of Nathaniel Garcia.
Yeah, a lot of things almost happened there. Looks like, who's that? Hornsby almost gets a pick, and then it's tipped, and then Johnson almost gets a pick, and then Philip Smith comes in and lays a lick on him just for good measure there. So dangerous throw there into traffic. Fortunate that ball landed on the turf, and it wasn't an interception by the Rangers, but another incompletion, another quarterback pressure, another 3rd and long for Madison's offense.
10 yards, or they go 3 and out. Trips to Allen's right. Lets it go to his left. Double coverage. Nothing there.
Yeah, and again, you could tell that the Smiths Valley, particularly in 3rd and long situations, you know that they're going to try to, more than likely, go to their guy. And so that time we capped him, played a cover 2, had a safety on top. So we had a corner underneath, safety over the top. And so as you can see, we had 2 guys there in perfect position. And so Rangers doing what they need to do to get Madison off the field and trying to keep their best player in check.
Look at Jordan Clay there on the sideline, headed to Baylor.
They're getting a good
signing.
one.
Oh, Rush almost got to it.
Actually, I think he got a piece of it.
I think he did too.
Is that Philip Smith?
It is Philip.
Yeah, great job by him. The white hat actually did the signal, tip ball type of deal. And you could tell that ball didn't go very far. Actually got a pretty fortunate roll for Madison. But great job getting his hand on it. Great effort by Philip there.
The Rangers and the Mavericks, so many battles over the years, such a long time, district rivals. A couple of times because of that, met 2 different times in the same season. 2005, one of those. During the regular season, the Rangers got the better of the Mavericks, 31-21. Later on in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, it was Smithson Valley who got a 50-20 win in a game you know a thing or two about, Brian.
Yes, that was a fun season. I'll tell you what, they were a good team, and we were in there with a lot of those Northeast teams. Madison, Reagan, Johnson was not a school yet, so it was all the Northeast schools and then us and Judson. And so, man, you want to talk about a gauntlet of a district, and MacArthur was good, Madison was good, Churchill was good. So we had some battles in there, and so we met in the district, obviously, and then met again in the 4th round and out there at Comalander. And I'll tell you what, those Madison squads in the early to mid 2000s, we had some battles with those guys, and like I mentioned earlier, it seemed like there was always a green that we had trouble tackling. I know that.
Off the end around 2nd and 17, a loss of 7. There's the pitch. Shoquist coming toward us. Dragged out of bounds. Ivan Salinas to stop for the Mavericks.
Looks like Verrett, wearing number 87 as a tight end, comes limping off the field. Hopefully he's okay. Obviously plays a big part, not only playing his tackle position, but also getting some reps at tight end. Hopefully he's okay. But we'll have to bring a new tight end in. And after that first play going backwards there and a minimal gain on 2nd down, Rangers kind of facing their first 3rd and long of the game. So we'll see how they handle it.
14 yards is what they need to cover. Over the middle, pass complete. It's Luke Peace.
What a throw. I mean, Ty turns to his left, rides the running back left, flips his body all the way around, and just slings an absolute dart to an in-breaking slot receiver on a skinny post and just puts it right where, I mean, you almost have to catch that ball. I mean, it's self-defense at that point. I mean, if it was a spear, it killed him. It went right through his chest, and Peace does a good job of catching and hanging on to that big first down, 3rd and 15. But that is a big-time throw right there, and you could see why that he's going to be playing on Saturdays. He's got all the tools with that type of arm strength.
Peace, as mentioned in the first half, just a sophomore. Big night for him, 5 catches, including one that covered 62 yards on a pass from Hunter Hauk.
Yeah, what a throw by Hunter. Because, I mean, it was actually pretty – I mean, they had guys back there. Now, the DB fell down, but I think even if he had kept his feet, that ball was dropped in a bucket. So, I mean, that was an impressive throw. Hauk can do just a little bit of everything.
2nd and 8. Outside. Pass complete. Inside the 35. Reggie. Isaiah with his first catch of the night.
Yeah.
I believe that's his first catch of the season.
I believe so. It was a good timing right there. A little 7-step stop route, and Ty let it go before he even slammed on the brakes and his eyes were around, which was just good timing, so he was able to catch it and do something with it. So good throw, good catch, another first down for the Rangers with some other receivers in there. We don't see Q. We don't see Haug. Piegler's not in there at running back, and so Rangers still able to move the ball with some other guys in, getting some quality reps here.
With the new set of downs, the clock going under 45 seconds, and now another stoppage.
And Coach Hill's not happy. There's some sort of miscommunication. That's the second time we've had to call a timeout. That we've been signaling something in, and that time it looked like tight end. I think it was Peace kind of putting his hands up like, I missed the signal, or I don't see it, or something like that. And so even in the game where you're up 35-3 and everything's kind of clicking on all cylinders, still things to work on. And Coach Hill and his staff, they're still going to, regardless of who's in, how much time's left, what the score is, they're still going to expect a high quality of execution there. And so getting frustrated there. The second timeout they've had to use on the offensive side of the ball here in the second half because of miscommunications.
Talked a little while ago about how a couple of times these two teams met twice in the same season, district foes, and then both of them perennial playoff teams. In Madison's case, certainly that was the case back then. Overall, these two programs have played 18 times. The Rangers, huge advantage, 14-4.
But they were battles, man.
They were battles.
I mean, early to mid-2000s, those Madison teams, Gutierrez was a running back in 02. He played at Oklahoma. He started running back at Oklahoma. We were able to beat him in the Dome. I think we blocked a field goal to win the game. Just absolute battles there in the early mid-2000s.
On 1st and 10, here's the give. Shoquist, good burst. Nice lane inside the 25.
Yeah, great job of getting to the outside, sticking his foot in the ground, lowering his shoulder on a safety coming downhill. And that's not someone easy to run over. That's Biles. We've seen him make a number of tackles coming up from the safety spot. So Shoquist lowering his shoulder and getting the best of him there and falling forward. Good, tough run.
Rangers come up for 2nd and 2. Madison 23 in what should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Snap, Shoquist to give, nearly fell. Nice job of keeping his balance. No, he didn't have the. Yes, he did. I guess what I thought is they did mark him down. I thought for a second, well, if he got back up, then he didn't have the ball, but he did, and they said, nope, your knee hit, young man.
Thought he was in the NFL there for a second. Didn't get back up, fell on his own, so lost his footing there, but knee was down, so that'll be the last play of 3rd quarter.
Rangers driving for another score. We'll see if they get it when we come back for the start of the 4th quarter. Here on the Ranger Network, Smithson Valley up 35-3 on Madison.
United Rentals understands that your routine is never routine. That's why we stand in the same dirt, ready to help you work with unmatched equipment and expertise that turn worries into wins. So as the weather shifts, plans change, and project complexity increases, we stand united with you. United Rentals. Work united.
Start of the 4th quarter. Ranger Stadium, Smithson Valley. Looking to add to a score that has them up 35-3 here on a Madison squad looking for its victory. First victory of 2025. The Rangers looking to bounce back from an early loss. Win tonight would make them 2-1. Both those victories would come against Northeast ISD opponent. Shoquist to get again, this time back to the 25, so a loss of a yard, it looks like.
Yeah, and there is. We talked about him early, haven't really talked about him much since then, but he reminded us who he is there, number 0, Jameer Bailey. He blew it up in the backfield, made a great play there, able to tackle for loss on a 3rd and short, bringing up a 4th and medium. Rangers going to go for it, but a great play by Bailey there.
On 4th and 4.
Look for the tight end in the slot.
Knutson rolling, lets it go. Out here, the 21st down catch. Nice job, Reggie. His 2nd catch of the drive, and thus his 2nd catch of the season.
Yeah, good little sprint out there. Had Reggie to the sideline, and then the tight end piece kind of set down in there. Kind of had both of them, but a good job getting it out quick. Just past the marker, put it on him, and big 4th down conversion there. Rangers inside the red zone, hoping to add one more.
Isaiah, like Luke Peace, just a sophomore, so the sophomores combining for 7 catches tonight. A lot of production from the youngins for a Rangers program that continues to add and develop talent. Pitch here near the 10, and guess who? Reggie once again.
Yeah, get some good quality playing time here. Got a mixture of stars. Looks like the O-line, starting O-line's in there, and obviously Ty's in there, but we got some fresh faces in there at the skill positions at the tight end. We got Easton Walker coming in at tight end. Great block out there on the edge. Got Shoquist at running back and got some other wide receivers, but still able to keep up the execution and going on a good drive here, taking some time off the clock, picking up good chunks of yards.
Jacob Kirk also in at receiver as you take us through skill players who are newly in. Shoquist up the gut and Shoquist into the end zone. 13 yards away and a 41-3 lead with the point after to come.
Yeah, just a great block counter play there. Guard pulled around, got a good seal block, and then Easton Walker comes around from his fullback position, wraps it around. I see the guard there was. Good job wrapping up. And you see Easton coming around, getting a block. And so it's down to the safety. Shoquist makes him miss, runs through an arm tackle, able to score. And again, good drive, going down, capping off with some other guys getting quality reps in there. And now I'd venture to say, 10 minutes left in the 4th, both offensively and defensively. Probably start getting some other guys in there, but expect the execution to remain the same.
42-3 on homecoming night for the Rangers. 10:06 remaining in the ball game. We're back after this right here on the Ranger Network.
Contractors come into our neighborhoods and make empty promises, hurting homeowners and giving good roofers a bad name. But not Links Roofing. We live in and support this community. We believe every Texan deserves a strong roof at a reasonable price. A roof that gives you peace of mind in the face of our strongest storms. This company was built on doing the little things right. From our inspections to our installations and unmatched warranties, when you choose Links Roofing, you get a product and people you can depend on. Contact Links Roofing today, because this community is our home too.
Trent Amaya, again a busy night, was the case in the season opening win, 62-6 over Roosevelt. Tired leg, not the reason why that one was fair caught at the 11.
Yeah, trying to get a return there.
Trying to get a return, exactly.
Yep. And Madison, after the one time Smithson Valley did that earlier where Amaya didn't boot it out of the end zone, purposely kicked it short, trying to get him to pin him inside the 20-yard line. I think the first time they did it, they only got it out to about the 14-yard line. So from that point forward, Coach said, even if they kick it short, we're going to fair catch it. So that's what they did. So they'll get the ball at the 25-yard line after a fair catch.
Of course, high school football, fair catch no matter where it's made on a kickoff gets you to the 25. That's where Caleb Allen and the Madison Mavericks will start. Twins to each side for Caleb. Senior quarterback, his first year as a varsity signal caller. Deep Jordan Clay and the Madison Mavericks will have their first 6 of the night. Doesn't take them long when it's Jordan Clay, the Baylor commit, on the other end. 75 yards.
Yeah, they got one-on-one matchup out here. We got some other guys rolling in. And so they saw their opportunity to finally get a one-on-one matchup. And a good throw, and obviously if he gets a one-on-one versus anybody, he's deadly. But that time he got a step or two and a well-thrown ball. So Madison gets on the board with a long throw to Jordan Clay. They've been trying to do that all night, but we contained them pretty good with having some high coverage over the top. Mainly held them to, other than that one jump ball he caught, mainly short passes. That time they were able to get him loose, and so Madison gets on the board with their first touchdown.
Richard Manning on for his first extra point attempt.
Almost blocked.
Under duress, the Rangers almost got to it, but it is good. And our new score with 9:52 remaining, Rangers 42, Mavericks 10. You know, you think about Jordan Clay, Brian, and he's the latest in what for a while now has been a long line of Madison Mavericks who've gone on to contribute at Division I level schools. You know, you mentioned the Greens. Of course, Aaron Green comes to mind as well.
Yes. Jacob Gutierrez, he was the running back for.
Gutierrez at OU.
Went to OU.
You know,
Travis. I'm sorry, he was Lee, but Nate Askew.
Nate Askew at A&M.
Yeah, he was a heck of a wide receiver during that time period too.
The defensive lineman who ended up eventually played for the Dolphins, Vincent Taylor, a couple years back. Vincent making his way to the NFL. After a stint in, I believe it was Oklahoma State, if memory serving correct.
I believe you're right. Yeah, they've had, through the years, like I said, they've those early 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s Madison teams. They were always a juggernaut, and I think that was when Coach Streety was there, and he was coaching, obviously a Hall of Fame coach. So when you combine that talent with that coaching, they were always a tough matchup.
Through the back of the end zone for Richard Manning. Rangers offense comes out. 9:52 remaining on the scoreboard.
Looks like we'll have some other faces in there, so we'll do our best to call them out as we see them. But rotating some other guys in. Got the backup offensive line. Easton Walker is in at quarterback. Looks like we got, trying to see numbers here.
I believe Renix Vizoroga is in the backfield behind Easton, and he gets the call. on 1st and 10, breaking tackles, crossed the 30 near the 35, and Renix might have picked up a first down on first down. I think they're going to give him 9, his first carry of the night.
And a good block by fullback pulling around on the counter play. Looks like that was Brett Wallace. Good job of wrapping around there. Having trouble seeing offensive line numbers, but I'll try to call them out as we see them. I see number 68, Jake Irwin, in there at guard. Shane Wood at tackle. Who's at center there? Is that
66,
52?
Shane Wood. You got it.
Center is Heisey, Carter Heisey, I believe.
Now, Renix, every time he touches the ball, that young man makes the most of every opportunity.
He runs hard.
8 yards, like an 8-yard average every time he's touched it so far through these first 2 games. Easton picks it off the turf, gets a first down beyond the 35.
A good heads-up play by him. It was a low snap, bobbled it. Supposed to be a handoff to Renix, but it was a low snap, mishandled it, but he knew where the blocking was going to be, so he just picked it up himself. Instead of trying to shove it in the running back's belly late and risking a fumble, he said, I'll just do it. And so he sticks his foot in the ground, gets up in there, follows the blocking, and picks up a first down. So, some other guys getting in here, still executing, picking up a first down.
Yeah, moments ago, Renix getting his 10th carry of the season. 80 yards. That pass incomplete. Looking in the direction of Venix Vizoroga.
Yeah, spread him out there. Easton, big, thick kid, strong kid. He runs the ball really well. So I was thinking there, we got in a 3-by-1 with a fullback. I was thinking, okay, we're going to try to spread him out here and let Easton run the ball. That time we had a little quick spot route concept up there. Pretty good play by Madison, covered it up. So bring up a 2nd long here.
Easton Walker, 5 of 6 through the air coming in. So now 5 of 7 for the season. Here's Renix Vizorua the other way. Continuing the numbers here on Easton Walker, 56 yards is what he's thrown for. He's thrown a touchdown pass. And for Vizoroga, a yard as he tried to make something happen there to the left side.
Yeah, and he came in last year, in the playoffs. Got called up as a sophomore for the playoffs, and some of those early games that we were able to get some pretty big leads, he was able to come in the second half and really impressed. I think he had a pretty long touchdown run versus, I think it was, who was it? I think it was 3rd round maybe.
New Braunfels?
No, 2nd round maybe.
Pass complete
down in the
out
valley.
To the wing.
Who did we play in the 2nd round last year?
Fielder Finley. The stop last year. Round number 3,
Edberg Vela.
It was Vela, and yes.
He came in, I think he had about a 30 or 40-yard touchdown run there, and that time with a defender in his face jumping up, be able to throw the deep out route to Finley for a first down there. Good arm strength showed off with a defender in his face. Able to pick up another first down and keep the offense rolling and keep the clock rolling and keeping the defense off the field.
After beating Victoria East to wrap up, they then beat South San, Edinburgh Vela, New Braunfels, Flower Buff, Angleton, and then got Highland Park in the state championship game.
That was close. We had them outnumbered here to the boundary. What we scored on earlier in the game where the fullback motioned out like he was going to go block for that 3-man hitch, he motioned back into the backfield, and we ran counter. We had the numbers, but it was a good play by the defensive end. I believe that was number 92, Gabriel Guerra. He got underneath the puller and kind of muddied the waters there at the point of attack. But if we were able to get inside of that, it was going to be a big game, but a good play by him.
On 2nd and 10, the Rangers more concerned here with running time off the clock. At the Madison 45, up by 32 on their way to a 2-1 start with district play beginning next week.
Tell you what, the 2 main run schemes that Smithson Valley has kind of mastered and really is their bread and butter is that outside zone stretch play and then the what we call GH or GF counter where the guard and the fullback both pull. Both of those have been really successful tonight, and no different when the next group comes in. Stretch right there did a great job of blocking at the point of attack, stick your foot in the ground, and 6 or 7 yards before he even made first contact with the defender.
3rd and 4 at the 39. Easton Walker going to keep. Good read there by that Mavericks defense. Good pursuit as well.
I think that was Guerra again, making a play, number 92. think they're starting to roll some other guys in there, but he's one of their mainstays on the defensive line, one of the few starters left in there. In the last 2 or 3 plays, he's been impressive, being tough to handle. So they'll go for it here on 4th down, 4th and 4. Might try to get the quarterback out on the move, much like we did in the last drive. That way, if it's open, give it to him. If not, Easton, stick your foot in the ground and see if you can go get the first down. Wouldn't be surprised if we have some sort of sprint out or just a catch and release, see if hit a slant route or something like that.
At the 39.
Bootleg on the move. There he
Walker
is.
rolling to his left.
Great
First
touch.
down, cross the 30, near the 20 sideline, and a touchdown for the Rangers.
They're going to throw a penalty.
Oh, there comes the late flag. It's fielder Finley.
Yeah, it's got to be on Brody Wick. He was a wide receiver in the route, deep. And then once Finley caught a great throw, by the way, by Easton, had a defender underneath it and kind of put some air on it and got some touch. And if that was 5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, that's a perfect block. But because the guy wasn't looking, they're going to call it a blindside block. Wasn't a super violent hit or anything like that. Hit him right in the chest. It wasn't head-to-head or anything like that. But because the guy wasn't looking, they're going to throw that, especially on their sideline. And so it should be a first down, though. He was well past the sticks when that penalty occurred.
And I'm thinking the officials, they haven't made that adjustment yet.
Are saying it's still 4th and 5.
Play clock is running. I think they're going to leave it.
That's interesting.
It's 4th and 5 at the 40.
I mean, it happened when Finley was 10, 15 yards past the first down marker, so that's interesting.
Handoff. Vuzuruga. Shy of the marker, and Madison will get the ball back.
That's curious. I don't know why it wasn't a first down and then move it back, but those guys are smarter than me, I guess. But
well, to your point, it appears to be a spot foul, right?
It's supposed to be a spot foul. And since the foul occurred past the first down marker, you'd think it'd be first down, but then move them back from there.
That's my first thought.
I don't know. I miss that day of ref school. But nonetheless, turnover on downs. Madison will take over.
The old line from A Few Good Men. I was sick the day they taught law at law school. No, but your educated assumption is much better than mine. I would have assumed it's a spot foul, and so there's the infraction. You mark it from there. Because the infraction was past the first down marker, it's a new set of downs. That's my line of thinking.
That is mine as well, but guess they don't agree with us, which is okay. But, yeah, it looks like we got some new guys in for Madison too, but the running back that's in is the guy that came in with the first group quite a bit, Brito, number 28. He's a load. You saw it there. He ran through and carried about 2 or 3 guys for a pretty good pickup on first down.
Second consecutive carry for Brito. Again, some tough running. Breaking away from initial contact, near first down yardage, about 2 yards shy.
Bring up a third down there. 3rd and short, clock's running. After this play gets off, we'll be under 4 minutes left in the game.
3rd and 2, their own 47, although this very much 4-down territory, especially at this point of the field with this score at this time of the game. Won't come to that. First down for Brito into Ranger territory at the 45.
Yeah, he's a tough runner too. I mean, that was blocked pretty well up front, but there's about 2 guys at the point of attack that came up to try to make the tackle. Bigger body kid, obviously the starting running back. McMillian is more of a speedster, quick, get out in space, outrun you type, but Brito's a big body, and he's tough to bring down. He's showing it on this drive. That's 2 or 3 runs he's had where he's broken through arm tackles and picked up another 4 or 5 yards after the initial contact.
The Mavericks going to have both Brito and McMillian back next year, both of them juniors. New quarterback rolling to his right, incomplete. Ivan Barrera looking toward that sideline.
That was a great play by Camacho. That's tough. As a safety, you have to honor the run fake first, and that's a bootleg. So he's honoring his run alley first, and then he's got to adapt to a drag route. That time he came and trailed him from the get-go and was able with perfect technique, gets his front lead arm out in front, bats that ball down from the trail position. Really good play from the safety spot.
Ivan, a junior quarterback for the Mavericks. His first series. 3:16 on the clock. Brito the get. Nice hole once he got past that. That second wave of Ranger defenders able to get him down, but not before a gain of about 4. Call it 3 officially.
Yeah, good stop there. Again, clock rolling under 3 minutes now. 3rd and long, as you mentioned on the last 3rd down, probably 4-down territory unless for some reason it's a bad snap or sacked and it's 4th and a mile. But I would imagine they're thinking 4-down territory here. Get another one on the board, get some momentum going into next week. I believe they start district next week, just like we do. So
3rd and 7. Barretta keeping and appears to get the first down. Needed the 35, he got the 33. So backup quarterback is able to get the first down. And yes, the Mavericks do begin district play next week. Actually, their next game, I should say. They got the bye coming in next week, but the first action after that, they take on Churchill on September 26. For Smithson Valley, of course, district play beginning with Champion in Bernie a week from tonight.
Speaking of Churchill, their next opponent. Oh, bad snap.
And Barretta able to pick it up off the turf.
And I'll tell you, as a guy who's been there before, that is the loneliest feeling on the planet, is when it's a bad snap, the play's busted, and you're looking down at the ground to make sure you pick up the ball and it's not a fumble. And you look up and there's just a swarm of bodies coming at you. Just a completely busted play. That is a lonely feeling. Let's see. I'm trying to look up because Churchill is playing my brother's squad, Clemens, in their last non-district ball game. So I'm trying to see how they're doing.
And while Brian Hill does that, we're going to step aside quickly. 1:54 remain. We're back for the conclusion right here at Ranger Stadium.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Lynx Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions.
For the final 2 minutes following the 2-minute warning, still getting adjusted to the 2-minute warning. My first instinct, Brian, was who took the timeout?
I know.
And then I look up and I was like, oh, wait, it's the 2-minute warning. Second and fourth quarters.
I still can't get used to that. I don't know. But,
well, and what's interesting, Brian, is it's funny. Maybe this is part of why. Nowadays, I very much look at high school athletics through a broadcast lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the broadcast rules? What are the regulations? What do we need to do to get ready for a season? As the Mavericks get set here for 3rd and 15. But out of the backup quarterback has 4 wides. Deep to his right. Open target. Overthrown.
I don't know whether that was a miscommunication or we just got beat. Looks like the corner, I believe that was McBride, thought that he had safety help over the top with O'Malley, like a cover 2 type look, but O'Malley wasn't there. So it looks like the corner thought it was cover 2 and safety thought it was cover 4. We were fortunate there the ball was overthrown. But talking about rule changes, one thing that I still don't know, and I watch a lot of football, they changed it to where, it used to be incomplete or out of bounds, clock stops no matter what. Now they treat out of bounds like it's a first down. Like the clock still runs on a first down, but then I'll be watching and sometimes it stops when they go out of bounds. So is it like under 5 minutes? Is it under 2 minutes? I still don't know that rule. I don't understand. I don't even know when they changed that rule. But now someone runs out of bounds, the clock is still running. Whereas a couple years ago it was,
you
out of
didn't
bounds.
start the clock until you snapped it again.
Right. And so I was like, okay, well they changed it to where it's under 2 minutes. Well then I see it like stopped at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm like, well maybe it's 5 minutes. I don't. There's been some rule changes of late that I can't quite keep up with. And that's one of them. The 2-minute drill, 2-minute warning's obviously new, and then I guess it started in college football, the out of bounds, and pro football to I think limit the game's going 4.5 hours and getting out of the designated window of TV time and stuff like that. But it's trickled down to the high school game now, and so that's why you're not seeing a whole lot of as many points as you did back in the day, 60s and 70 points with this high power. The game's just a lot shorter. The clock is running a lot more often than what it used to.
Following the incomplete to Elijah Moton, Brito could not pick up a first down, so the Smithson Valley offense back on the field for the final minute and a half of this ball game. No, I'm with you. So many different rule changes and shortening the game. And so from my perspective, in just studying up so often on, okay, broadcast, what do I need to know? What are we allowed to broadcast? What can't we broadcast? How about when we get to playoffs? What's the rules here? What's the rules there? I completely missed the 2-minute warning up until we're doing game prep for our first game, and it comes up with one of the coaches. And I'm thinking, huh? When did that happen?
I mean, I know that we follow the UIL here in Texas follows the NCAA for the most part. There's very few differences between the NCAA and the UIL as far as rules go. I think the targeting, automatic ejection might be a little bit different in high school because there's not replay and things like that. But as far as the overall rules, and so I guess that they did that in college this year. That was a new thing, and so the UIL adopted it as well. But I'm like you. I didn't even know that was a rule change until the first ball game of the year when I watched it, and I was like, did we just take a timeout?
Isaiah Reggie the catch. Busy second half for that young man. And we get ready for what should be the final snap of another Rangers victory coming around right side. Gang tackle there for the Mavericks. Final play goes to Lincoln McKeon. I believe that's his first carry of the night on the last play on homecoming evening for the Rangers. 42-10, our final score. The Rangers improving to 2-1. As mentioned, with district play up ahead. And so, Brian Hill, your final thoughts here on a night in which the Rangers got out to a fantastic start and then essentially did enough to hold off Madison to where the Mavericks never truly really made this a game.
Yeah, and 42-10, somewhat of a lopsided score, but not necessarily something you're thinking coming in with the tight ball games that they had played up until this point. So I think it was a really good game for the Rangers, particularly in that first half. Ranger offense driving right down the field, mixture of run and pass, and the defense doing their job and holding them to only 3 points. So kind of just what the doctor ordered after rebounding after the tough loss last week against a really good Brennan squad. Then you kind of bounce back, get your confidence back heading into district. And as you know, our district is very tough from top to bottom. And so we're going to open up with Champion. It'll be another tough test.
Speaking of, fun next 2 weeks for the Rangers. Champion on the 19th, Piper on the 26th before the bye week, and then the rest of 2025. But first things first, we'll see you next Friday for that game against Champion. For Brian Hill, for the great folks at Wick Productions, we say so long from Ranger Stadium. 42-10 our final. The Rangers improve to 2-1. Good night.
Go Rangers.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jeremy Fuller State Farm, United Rentals, Lynx Roofing, Orthopedic Performance Institute, Frost Bank, The Branch, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge, Christopher Ashley Pools, Singer Services, Methodist Healthcare, and Wick Productions. We would like to thank Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge for sponsoring our Rangers. They are a huge part of our community and have Ranger athletes of their very own. Thanks, Chick-fil-A at Stone Ridge. The Rangers appreciate Jeremy Fuller State Farm's support year after year of our Smithson Valley athletes. If you need home, auto, insurance, and more, call Jeremy Fuller State Farm today. Our Smithson Valley athletes appreciate the branch for all of their support. They keep our hungry athletes fed and contribute towards scholarships and overall athletic needs year after year. The Rangers appreciate you. Madison Valley Ranger athletes appreciate Christopher Ashley Pools. Thank you for all of your support. They are a big part of our community and have their very own Ranger athletes. When you are ready to complete your backyard paradise, Christopher Ashley Pools can bring your vision to life.